Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We're going to be doing another PubCast, another public matchcast on the Big D servers. It is a pleasure to have each and every one of you. We're back. I'm trying to do one of these a week. Hope you guys are enjoying it. There are a bunch of fun to do. We've had a lot of different guests on lately, and today is no exception. Today we have a fresh new guest, somebody we've never had before. Let me introduce to you, this is OC's own NvSBeast. Beast, how the hell are you, mate?
Awesome as always. Been looking forward to it all week.
Hell yeah, brother. I'm looking forward to casting this. Obviously, another one of our OC lads. It's always a pleasure to have you. Always a pleasure to have somebody that is a much better player at this game than I am. Tell me, you've just come off the back of a Big D Premier League win. Obviously, the BPL, the Big D Premier League, it is the best competitive Hell Let Loose scene in Australia. Undefeated, if I'm not mistaken.
Undefeated, of course, which means we've got everything to lose next time.
As well, you know what? Watching some of those games, and I did watch just about every game. I don't know about you guys, whether you guys caught it all on Nopper's stream. A lot of those teams started to get a lot better at what they were doing.
Oh, definitely.
We're going to have
public
a great
team
conversation.
Highlighted definitely started to have a massive improvement from the people that have never played together to a team. They're fully formed into a clan now, so...
Emu War Veterans. That is one of my favourite clan names that I think I've ever seen, to be honest. It's very good. Is it Aussie Blackbeard heading up those guys? I think he's running the show over there, isn't he? Or at least he's at least one of the guys that is. So, cool. I'm going to start spawning in. Can you let me know when your camera's ready to go? Because I do have the long cooldown, the long spawn time, being an offensive map.
I also do have the long spawn time. I am on Germany. Are you on Germany as well? Or?
I am on the United States. We've done the right thing. We've jumped on separate sides. There you go. That's right. We can sit around and talk shit. Which map are we playing? This looks
we're
like...
playing Hill 400, Bush Wookie Central.
Oh my god, is there anything worse? I feel like every time I move from behind a tree, I get brutally murdered by somebody who's been sitting behind the same tree for the last half an hour. It's like running through the bush full of claymores.
Playing this map, smoke is your friend, because there's so many trees, you can't trust any of them.
You can't trust trees.
Shoot all of them.
I know, in real life, I don't trust trees either, brother. They're weird, they're green, and they don't talk. I don't trust them. There, I said it. So we are playing an offensive map. This is going to be a German offensive. Having a look at the points they need to take from right to left, we're looking at Paper Mill, Esselweg Junction. There you go. I've just spawned in, so as I'm talking about maps. So Flak Pits after that. Hirschweg is the second last, and the last point that they'll have to take is Stuckchen Farm. If I'm pronouncing any of this right, look, I'd be genuinely surprised. How are we doing?
Better than me.
How are we doing for cameras, my guy? Are we up? Are we ready to go?
We are up and loaded. We have a commander. The guys and girls are starting to look good. Have a look at my team right now. We've got a lot of lower level squad leaders, but certainly some very high levels in there as well. So I think if there's any map where they can pull it out, it's this map. So many trees, so hard to see. And there's a lot of fog on this version of the map. So I think it will do in their favour.
Fog is genuinely the bane of my existence. So we're looking at your camera at the moment. Whilst I get mine set up, let me have a look at some of the teams. Whilst we're following this, that's a very full truck for a pub server. That's good to see.
One thing you can see is a good 20 people with the same skin. Yeah.
That's right. The Germans do tend to do that. It does look like it's a truck full of clones. Potentially that's how they think they're going to win World War II, is by cloning all their soldiers, but we'll see how that goes. I'm just going to run through some of the clan tags that are on my side. Gremlin from OC's playing. That's very good to see. Love the guy. One hell of a player. Red Cordial, another good lad. Beefy Sausage, Repurpose, Porphyros, and Aerotrix 999. Able Squad is almost entirely full of OC lads. Jeez, that's gonna be very hard for the Axis. That's fairly stacked. Nakajim is the squad leader for Easy Squad. The Pooch from EBU War Veterans is in Fox Squad. He's going to be a recon spotter for this match. There you go. Can I? I'm just going to switch over to my screen just in a tick. Let me just get to the point that we're going to be fighting over. That is Paper Mill. And I will let you have a look and talk through some of the clan tags that you're looking at, my guy. If I can get to the right place. Never mind me.
It's alright, we can see Tomorrow Boy spraying at the bushes, making sure that there is no Wookiees.
Delicious. Alrighty, it is very foggy, but we're going to switch over to my screen. Can I just get you to have a look at any of the clan tags that are playing for the Axis forces in this match, my guy?
Well, so for the commander, we've got Gag Reflex Barbie, level 155. Just looking at the map alone.
What was that name? Was that Gag Reflex Barbie?
Absolutely, it is. A beautiful Gag Reflex Barbie.
Oh, I love it. That's good. That's good. I'll take that.
In terms of affiliated members, this team's pretty light, but that's not to say they don't have the punching power.
No, 100%.
Watched them off the back of last round do pretty well and get the win, so I wouldn't be afraid just to see them do it again.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something you realise from this game. There are some very good players that just don't have the time to be joining a clan or aren't able for one reason or another. And some of them
haven't
really
been
good.
recognised. There's a lot of members that people just don't know their names yet.
Yeah, 100%. And we're slowly seeing this community build. It's been really good to see, especially off the back of the BPL. It seems to have brought a lot of people into the clan scene, and is just giving people an opportunity and to see stuff they didn't know was happening in this game. So, like, I don't know about you, but OC is getting new clan members daily off the back of that obviously massive win, and I think I'm hearing that from every other clan that's happening at the moment.
Yeah, the community seems to be thriving. I know we've just hit 99 members.
You know, see,
soon to hit the 100. Yeah, 99.
There you go. You could be the 100th member for OC. You could be. Who's you going to be?
And you pass our wonderful trials.
You know, most clans are doing trials at the moment. It's usually not too onerous. All it is a good chance for you to meet a lot of the guys in the clan, and a lot of the guys in the clan to know and play with you. Look, I don't know about you, Beast, but every time I see a trial, I'll usually jump in a squad with them. Every time I see an OC trial, just have a game with them, see how they're doing, see what they're all about.
Absolutely. The whole point of the trial is get everyone to know you, and if anything, it's your time to shine. Everyone's watching.
In a non-stressful way.
In a non-stressful way. It's your chance to let your personality shine.
Yeah, I like it. Can I get you to do me a favour? We're just sort of flying at over at the moment. We're seeing the Allied assault coming from Paper Mill onto Esselweg Junction. Can I get you to fly over Esselweg and just see whether we can get some close-in squad combat? See if you can follow some lads that are pushing into the point, and we'll see how they do. Let me know when you're set up, and we'll move over that way.
I am ready and waiting.
Here you go, Beast. This is Beast's screen. Obviously,
we have the SSV, of course. He's pretty much one of the only ones here. If you look out, there's not many people, and that's simply because they've been unable to get their spawns, and a lot of their team just haven't. I'm going to say it, they haven't used their brain. They're attacking a point they can't capture. They need to move on.
There you go. Hopefully, the commander,
the allies have done that.
Yeah, hopefully the commander, Gag Reflex Barbie, will try and get some of his squad leads in line. See if they can't start putting up some OPs. Look, I have faith that we'll get a decent game out of this. Tell you what, the old high-up camera is a little bit difficult. This is very heavy fog for this map.
It is, but I feel like that's in the attacker's favour, just because it means those people laying in the bush can't see very far.
The human claymores that are stuck there, that are just waiting to pull the trigger as soon as somebody walks past, they're obviously not going to be noticed. Your lad, SSV, is pushed up. He's doing all right. He is a...
And as you say, the caster's curse. SSV
Every
has
fucking
been sat
time,
down.
I swear. Did he just try to I ate your cat yum?
He did.
Very.
And I have a feeling this truck, which is their lifeblood of the bush, may die as well. Although I have a feeling he's satchel kit, so he may not use it yet. So he may just save onto it and just hold this point.
See, I don't know. If I was him, I'd relish a good chance to put a satchel down. I'd be jumping on that. I'd be satcheling the living shit out of that truck.
And I think he is running to it. One thing I would notice, though, is the allies are, even though they don't have their spawns up, they're slowly getting that flank, which is going to
There you go. He's got the satchel out. We're seeing him start to move on to this supply truck at the moment. Let's hope, as of course, every time you put... There you go. Satchel going down on the truck. Every time you put a satchel down, I can guarantee you, we can't hear him at the moment, but he is running away. So, I've satchel the truck! This is a satchel! Run! Guarantee you some blueberries will run in regardless of that, because blueberries are good like that.
I guarantee. Oh, Tully. Unfortunately, we don't get to see him go boom today. I thought he was going to run at it and have a good look at the bumper, as so many people love to do.
There you go. He's lying down in the field. He's making very sure that he's not in line of sight of that. There you go. There goes the satchel. No blueberries.
Probably a rare sight in itself. A satchel that doesn't team kill.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is a non-team kill satchel. You wouldn't see it. You wouldn't believe it had happened in this match, but it just did. How are we looking on that offense, mate? I'm going to switch over to your screen. We should actually probably do a little bit of a map compare whilst we're at it. So bring up your map. We'll switch over and have a look at that. There we go.
I look at mine. The clear problem here is they don't have enough Garys and they're not in the right place. They're getting the job done, but they're just taking their time.
Dude,
the good thing they are doing is they are moving into the red to try and get OPs down and get a bit of a flank around them.
They're trying to sort out that sector control. If you have a look on the map, that's NvSBeast's map on the right. He's on the Axis side, so that's the Axis assault we're looking at the moment. On the left, we're looking at some fairly good. They've still got their. Is that their? That's not their. They've got 2 garrisons up. What is it? G3 and G4, and
they've got
a
2 Garys and the HQ, which they can technically use. It is a bit far, but it is in the right spot.
And they've got a defensive Gary down at flank pits.
The problem they're going to run into is if you look at the sector, it's really hard to flank Elsewhen Junction just because of where the line is. So they're not going to be able to get any OPs behind them. So it's one of those caps where you just got to run at it. Give it your best shot, and that is absolutely what they're doing.
Yeah, good. And you're seeing that assault. That's coming up from that way, if you can have a look at that there. Looks like the recons are leading the charge. Gag Reflex Barbie is the commander. I'll tell you what, the allies are calling down. They're calling down artillery on that attack now, and we've just seen one of the snipers going down. Zarek won't know it, but he has an allied request for artillery on top of him. Gag Reflex Barbie, we'll be seeing that arty going down now, so maybe he's going to pick a different route around. But yeah, we're just not seeing too much of an attack at the moment. Look, hopefully that changes.
I have a feeling that's simply because they're sliding behind them. They are attacking. They are attacking in the right spots. I think a lot of it is just the Axis don't know that. Oh, sorry, the Allies do not know that. If you flick over to my map, you can see that a lot of them aren't in the right spot.
We're over on your screen at the moment, my guy.
There's lots at the bridge. They're really trying to hold that, but it's not. There's no point. They're stopping 3 people when there's 14 behind them. And if they're able to get spawns up and put some weight on this, if they crack those spawns, they will cap it from behind them. Because in this game mode, only the circle matters.
I'm just going to flick over to mine at the moment so we can see what's going on at the moment. So out towards that southwest and west side, we're seeing a good Axis push there, but they do have a lot of allied lads just to the right of your screen that will be pushing across their line of advance. A lot of them have been spawning from flak pits and just trying to hold off this assault that's coming from the Axis at the moment. There are still a good amount of lads on point. Lots of them are dying, yes, but you sort of expect that. Lots of arty going down, and that Axis push seems to have stalled mostly coming from that southwest.
One thing the Allies have done, the Axis have done, which I don't think the Allies have paid attention to or thought about, is they've got a deep red Gary, and it's staying green. Problem with that is it means that they're able to push from that southern side, and they're not looking. They're not looking in the right direction. Half the team is in the wrong spot.
All right, I'm going to flick over to you, and let's have a look at what you're looking at there. So I feel like that's probably where the fight's happening at the moment.
So even though you have this bridge blocking off the HQ, it's not blocking anyone. It doesn't matter because they've snuck in a Gary down here behind them. This has only just gone red, and their whole team has OPs. So it doesn't matter. Once they start getting that push on them, and they are getting that push, if they crack those Garys, they're done. That cap will go down.
Yeah, well. If, correct. Blue Rose Jelly jumping into chat. It is always a pleasure to see you, sister. Let me just do one of these. Delayed message. Always a pleasure, Blue. Looking forward to having you on this as a co-caster at some stage. But until that happens, I'm going to say nice thing. You are first, sister. You're always first and foremost in my books. Welcome. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Let's switch over to mine. I'm just sort of floating above Esselweg Junction at the moment. That's where the bulk of the fight's happening. What we're looking at the moment, the red guys are the Axis. The red guys are the Axis. They're going to be pushing into the point. Let me just have a look at where we are. Esselweg Junction. Jeez, there are way too many things.
And in line with your beautiful notification, if you click to my screen, we can see Bob is best. Oh, Caster's curse. He was on the AT gun, showing us how big of a strong man he is, shooting up the hill, and the recon's just done him dirty.
Every time, I swear. Like that's probably going to be my goal this stream, is to talk about one person without them getting brutally murdered within a couple of seconds.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Hodor, the Reaper of last game with his shotgun, did not make it this time.
Didn't make it?
I can't say that name if I tried, but he took him down.
We're going to switch back over to mine. What we're looking at the moment, the blueberries in the middle, that's the allied defense of Esselweg Junction. If you have a look here, just to the right of the screen, you can see it. Esselweg Junction, that's where the strong point is. There is a bit of an Axis assault. They're just sort of probing at the moment. What sort of spawn points do they have moving into Esselweg Junction at the moment? Is it mainly
well,
OPs?
One that's come up very important is an airhead is being launched on the north side. And if you look at the north side, there's not many people there. If they don't see it and they don't hear it, they will run into trouble. And this is an airhead that is slightly defended.
We're switching over your screen at the moment. I'm going to get you to keep an eye on that airhead. In what stage is it? How close are we to being down?
It's launching, but I have a feeling Naka, the man with the iron ears, has heard it and is sprinting towards it. Arrow Tricks on my right, also taking down the marksman. Kara, I have a feeling those OC boys are running directly towards it.
Oh, look. Tattoo, welcome, my guy. Pleasure to have you in the chat, my dude. I didn't see Tattoo in the team list. Is he not playing this match?
He was AFK, so he may not be in.
Hey, there you go. You can't win them all. This time we don't have any tats. We are casting a public match on the Big D servers. This is server number 2. Lots of OC lads have joined. It is a fucking pleasure to have each and every one of them. We're co-casting with NvSBeast. He's been good. He's looking at this lad at the moment, following him.
Alvin and the Chipmunks definitely about to not have the happy ending, and there it is.
Arrow
Tricks taking him down.
As soon as we say his name. I swear we're on a 15-minute delay.
Just launched.
Was that a spawn off it?
Yes, but only 2. I would be screaming at my team right now.
Oh,
and they are
as a
flanking
commander.
in behind to get the kill. I think that's just a lack of communication.
Oh, as a commander, you put down a delicious airhead, and 2 people spawned it. Guys,
not only that,
what more do you want me to do?
An airhead without a bombing run. It's unheard of.
There you go. Another spawn off the airhead there.
The fact that that's alive is a miracle. A fact that it's not spawning anyone. Oh, 1 person, even better. That's a failed airhead.
Oh my god.
It might get another round, but it's not looking good.
Pub
they
matches
are getting the map control though, so even though it hasn't worked in getting the spawns in the right spot, it has worked as a hell of a distraction.
Yeah, hell yeah. And look, I'll tell you what, that is still 7 lads, 8 lads now, that are in that area where the Allies didn't have a great amount of defense. So, look, if nothing else, it's dragged people that way, and that should take the pressure off in other areas.
And another 2 in, they love their 2s. That buddy system never fails.
2x2. There you go. They're spawning in buddies.
For Stab's field, it did fail him, and his head exploded.
This is something you might not know about Nazis, but they actually struggle to fight if they don't have a head.
Didn't know.
No,
but now
there you go. You learn something new every day. I haven't spoken about him yet.
Bombing run coming through the center of the cap.
There you go.
Clearing out a whole lot of not much.
There you go. It's taken down 1. Cyborg Sasquatch going down
2,
as well.
But
3.
I ask you, Stu, how are the spawns looking? Do they still have their garrison up?
Let me have a look. We're going to switch over to my screen. We're looking at a map at the moment. This is the map of Esselweg Junction. They do have 2 Garys just south of Esselweg Junction. But I'll tell you what, the Axis are starting to take the junction at the moment. I'm assuming that's mostly cap weight. Having a look at my screen at the moment, we're looking at those red berries. They are the Axis forces moving into the right of Esselweg. If I'm not mistaken, that looks like that assault that's coming.
We have the perfect hub moment. Not only was the Greyhound sitting right next to the enemy garrison, but it's doing so with a satchel on it. So the allied Greyhound, which is the friendly, may actually drive towards the Gary.
Is that being?
And it's killed its own driver. That's right. He has killed his own gunner and is now driving towards 10 of his teammates with a satchel on his
no!
butt.
This is fucking
Come on, if
huge!
he takes a right turn, it's all over.
There
And
it
he's
is!
taken the Gary out. He has done it for his team. I think that was only just in range, but just enough.
I fucking love it.
Not only did he kill his friend, he killed his
I'll tell
basically his team on this push. You scroll out, they are getting around him, and without a spawn, these things become hard to defend.
There is still the one garrison just south of the point. It is warm at the moment. I'll just like to point out in chat, Shirley, first time chat, OC Zone, Shirley. I love a bit of Shirkle. First time chat, dude. Thank you. Welcome to the stream, my guy. It is a fucking pleasure to have you. Yeah, it is. This team has a massive OC stack on it. Let me bring up my screen and have a look. There we go. Just to the top of your screen, that is Able Squad with Red Cordial, Beefy Sausage, Repurpose, Car Porphyros, Aotrix 999. I fucking love seeing the OC lads playing together.
You say that, but they are losing the point, and I think that's because no matter how strong you are, friendly people driving towards garrisons with satchels on it does do it sometimes.
When he killed his driver, do you reckon that driver saw the satchel and was trying to take it out?
It may very well have been. He could have been trying to save the team, and unfortunately, the teammate too strong.
God damn it! What
and
the
it looks
living
like
hell,
they
guys!
have recovered here. The allies do have good control, good spread. Although they are surrounded, they're holding. And
yeah, they are.
I think they've lost part of their momentum. They may regain it, but they're holding.
What sort of spawns, what sort of OPs are we looking at? I'm going to switch over to you. Let's have a look at the Axis map sitting around Junction at the moment.
So they're really well spread. Even the recon doing its job, getting in the stuff behind them.
Yep.
So they've got to look at all angles. One thing they could do, which I can see Barbie is trying, is to get down those angles of attack. They're doing all the right moves. They're just fighting a decent team. The problem is they are very close, and I think at this kind of range, one rocket can change the game. You hit a Gary, it's done.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll just have to wait and see.
I think the bombing run could be crucial. I'm just going to flick over to my screen again. See, this is what we're talking about at the moment. See those red berries up towards the top? That is 100% the Axis assault onto Esselweg Junction. They are very well spread out. They do have good control of the sector. Towards the center at the moment, we're looking at those blueberries. They are very condensed on the point at the moment, which is not much else they can do. You'd expect to see them try to push out from here. I'll tell you what, we did talk about this before. If this one fails at this point, Beast, what we're going to do, I think, if you're okay with it, we might cast another match after this.
I'd love to. Honestly, I'm having a killer time, and there's nothing quite like watching people satchel their own team.
There we go. We give every single one of these viewers 2 for 1, like we did last match. It's not quite going to be a 19-minute match like the last one we casted with another one of the OC lads, Lord Ginge. But it's going to be close.
Honestly, Stu, I think you might have jumped the gun here, though. I think I don't know what team I'm on. The Allied team are doing it. They may not look like they're doing it, but they have the control, they have the spread, and the grip's getting tighter. Yes,
yeah,
they have good players, but they are pushing into the swarms. Without the swarms, you have nothing.
I'll just correct you for a second, but you are on the Axis side, so the blueberries on your screen will be the Axis forces. The blueberries for viewers at home in the screen that you're looking at the moment, the blues on this are the Allied defenders. They have just got a spawn wave off. Is that a Luke's for your team that's looking down on a point? I think that's doing some fucking work.
Absolutely, and he has been pounding it all game. He has taken a hit, but if you look
just took a hit. Let's get in there and have a look. This is the Luke's I'm talking about.
Everyone. Eert might get the kill though. He is running up. He does have a rocket. He has to pull
it's
his
bounced
shot
off. There you go. There's the Luke's. As soon as I moved into it, it's just gone down. Yeah.
Of course, the caster's curse.
That is once again. We're unable to talk about anybody without them getting brutally murdered. I'll tell you, that Luke's did do some work. It was up there for a while. And probably more work than you expect from a light tank, but well done to those lads. It was a solo tanker as well, which probably is not going to help him as much as he thinks.
It's certainly the map for it, though. That kind of tank, when it's sitting on a Gary, it can do some work.
And just that maneuverability in this map, to get it up quick, to get it up to the point to help out, you'd expect it to help.
So what I'd like to see this team do, and by this team I mean the Axis and the attack, is they need to start getting more Garys up. They've only got 2. Yes, they are attacking. Yes, they do have spawns close. But if you get those fast Southern Garys up, it gives you the ability to flank. Yes, they have those spawns already there, but the moment they pop, they lose 5 guys, 6 guys, and that's the problem. They just cannot hold their momentum, and there's plenty of people around them. Now, their redeeming factor is you're clumped. The allies are clumped really bad, one bombing run, and that could do it.
Yeah, absolutely. We are looking at my screen at the moment. What we're looking at, those red berries up the top, that is the Axis forces putting some pressure on from the southwest, south of Point. They are well spread out, and they are getting some kills. Repurpose in the center of your screen, playing as a medic. That is one of the best recon players in the entirety of Oceania. Playing as a medic. I believe she's trying to level that so she never has to play medic ever again, but I could be wrong.
That or just the chance to flex on people with a pistol.
Yeah, I do like to...
If you only take 1 hit and you don't die, that's 9 band-aids. That's plenty of people you can flex on.
Yeah, that's very true. I do like pointing out how good a player Repurpose is, just because on the off chance that Gobatron is hanging around this stream, I know he hates hearing it, so I say it as much as humanly possible.
Look, if you've had your spawns or your airdrops hammered like I have, you want to hate the name because it's just annoying. It's just annoying. Every time I'm set up, I'm having a great time at Artie. I've got my 100 kills in. Unfortunately, it's not a streak anymore because the purpose comes nearby and I don't like it.
Yeah, it's not great, is it?
No.
It looks like that attack from the southwest that I was talking about before has mostly stalled. It looks like the allies are starting to push out from Point. You'd expect from here, with the numbers they've got and the lack of Axis forces holding them back, they're going to start trying to get some sector control to the bottom of your screen at the moment. We're still looking at Esselweg Junction. Say that really quickly. In the middle, so there is a lot of allies sitting on Point at the moment. There is a bit of a murder ball from the Axis to the right of your screen at the moment. If they can start pushing in and gain a toehold, potentially put up some spawn points, maybe some OPs. Tattoo says, I'm betting on a default Garrison win. I think you could be right, mate. Looking at it.
Well, it was the default Garrison that survived the satchel, was it not? So it may very well be. And the problem with the default Garrisons is you have to kill them with your hands.
Yeah,
rockets don't work. I don't even think satchels work, and this is a hard map to push. There's so much cover. People can hide in smoke, and not only that, if you look at this one, if you swap to my screen, it's in the open. Like, it's got full cover. You've got to push through a field. You're not doing well, and they've already got their flanks covered, so it's going to be a hard one.
Looks like they're still trying to grenade it, but yeah, that's not going to work, lads. Got to get in there and take it out, otherwise. In the next 7 minutes, that's not a word. In the next 7 minutes, this is looking like it could be an allied win.
One thing the Axis are doing well is they're throwing lots of smoke. They've got the medics out. If you can't see, it's very hard to kill people.
Yeah, it turns out it is a lot easier to murder people if you can see them. That's a very good point. Blue Rose Jelly. Very good to have you, sister. I tell you what, I'm nervous. Tattoo, the man, the myth, the legend himself is in chat. I feel like I need to up my commentary game and actually talk about what's happening, not just point out dumb stuff. Because that man is like some sort of Hell Let Loose savant. OC's own
That's why you've got me here, so I can point out all the things and talk about a Hell Let Loose nerd.
Magnificent. And you know what? I, for one, genuinely appreciate it, my guy.
And if you look at the map, you can see that they've done exactly what I wanted them to do. They've got that north flanking Gary, and they've got the far south one. It did just go red, but if they're not paying attention, which I don't know if they are.
There's a bombing run going in. I'm just going to switch over to my screen. Bombing run going over through Point. It's taken out about 4 or 5 lads. The biggest problem they're going to have here is it doesn't look like any of the red berries are really in a position to push out. Actually, I lie. I have just looked over. There is a bit of a murder ball to the right of your screen. If they can take advantage of that bombing run that's just gone through and see if they can get on top of that default garrison before another spawn happens, we could start seeing the Axis actually trying to take this point.
Unfortunately, I don't see it happening. They've got good control.
I completely agree.
Yeah. And not only that, the default Gary in itself is in a good spot. There's so much cover.
It is, isn't it?
They've got 6 minutes, so a lot can happen, and they are in a nice big murder ball, but we'll just have to wait and see.
And I'll tell you what, those the Allied lads have just spawned back in on that default garrison. That will be the bulk of the blue troops you can see to the right of your screen at the moment. The bulk of those troops have just spawned in, so they'll get in position again, and it'll be impingent on the Axis forces you can see to the top of your screen and to the top left to start rooting them out of this position.
What I would say
is
they're very, very close to that Gary now, and they are in a nice fat murder ball. When it comes to this many people this close, it's about who has the explosives, and as you can see, they're flying left, right, and center. When they're this close to their spawn, that's all it needs sometimes.
Blue Rose Jelly says, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to have absolutely no strategic comments. I'll just judge what they are wearing. And honestly, Blue Rose, honestly, Blue, that's why we're going to have you here.
If you flick to my camera, you can see chaotic scenes, literally smoke, blood, and guts flying everywhere.
Oh, good Lord, it's carnage down there.
It is. I've seen 4 people explode in the last minute, and I couldn't even see half of them. Just their legs flying, and the big man's got back on the AT gun. Look at that sideline. He can see half a tree and some smoke, and he's still going for it.
He's just going to be pumping rounds in the vague forward direction.
Unfortunately, I think he's just going to hit a fence the whole time. Maybe, but there might be that unlucky soul which catches around.
Look,
or his unlucky teammate that walks in front of the gun. Like this man who did not know that you can cook a grenade too long.
In his defense,
that just exploded.
In his defense, it's probably an allied fence that he's shooting a lot. So, look, he's doing his job for King and Country.
One thing I would like to explain, so the 2 guys here literally held a grenade too long and found out what happened.
Oh, you're joking, are you? Really?
I'm not. They held it too long, and does he catch the AT round?
Overcooked a grenade. Grenades are like turkeys. If you cook them too long, they're shit. I don't even know what I say half the time.
Mayhem.
It's nuts, isn't it?
But they are holding.
Yeah, they're just getting the bulk of their forces back onto the point. As you mentioned before, it's a hard point to push onto. It's just throwing grenades, hoping that it murders enough people, pushing in and hoping you've got some sort of line of attack that's either covered by some cover and you can get close enough and do some murder, then do it all over again.
But the opportunity they are seizing is with this chaos. Some people have decided to use their brain and go for this southern push. No one's looking in the right direction. No one is looking in the right direction.
Say it ain't so. I'm going to switch over to my screen at the moment. This is what we're talking about. Obviously, the blueberries and the red berries have switched over. So towards the top of your screen at the moment, that is the northern push that NvSBeast has been talking about. It is being pushed on by some of those blueberries that are pushing across their line of advance. Let's get in and see what they're doing. Express Highway, Warn, Noncuck, and Gremlin are the lads. Are they...
And we've just seen the Rogue Panzer IV called, of course, no bitches, driving in to clap the maiden list. He's going for it, balls deep.
There you go. Let's switch over to that.
Gun. And I fear for his life as a Brap runs towards him. I don't think he's long for this world.
Is that the Brap? Good lord, yeah, he's got no chance.
The V-Rap, of course. Hodor, though, the cleaner himself, taken down Brap. And no bitches still lives somehow. I don't know how.
Look, I don't know how they're feeling inside that tank. That seems to be a bit much fire.
Hot. I think hot.
Yeah, correct.
But they are alive and they are very close to that Gary. Now, if he's parked it up and he's turning that gun to that default Gary, he may not know it's there, but if there's people next to it, people explode.
So at this point, you're just going to expect him to be loading HE. There you go. He's just gone down. Blue Rose Jelly just pointed out that, oh my god, you are the angel of death. If Stu follows you, you die. You are absolutely right, Blue. That happens, and we did talk about that. Ladies and gentlemen, there is 1 minute and 20 seconds left in this match. We're going to flip over to me. We can see, look at that. That is far too many blueberries holding that point. I think this is going to be a second point. Default Gary, allied win, my friend.
You hate to see it, and the default Gary is just too strong. That is why at the start of a lot of these games, you see experienced players drive towards it, even if that means sacrificing the first cap, because the first cap is normally a given, so if you can get to those default Garys, you can gain momentum.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
And these maps are hard.
Yeah, you would have loved to have seen him take him down, but I tell you what, that default Gary absolutely saved him. That was their only spawn point on the cap point for a time there. Lots of rockets.
And it's probably eaten a good 6 rockets too. It's just, it can't die.
Yeah, they do seem to still be trying to shoot it with rockets. I don't think they've figured out the whole default Garys won't die to rockets thing yet, but you know what?
Certainly not common knowledge.
No, it's not. But yeah, and that's why I've got you around, to fill me in with all these facts that I've got no idea about.
And in fact, they have dropped a second, Gary. It's being guarded by the same light tank that blew it up last time, a good 20 centimeters from its course.
I'm gonna switch over to you at the moment. I see what
As
we're
you
talking
can see, the killer is back, ready to run over his teammate, and this time the Gary.
There you go. I'm just gonna draw your attention. That's 2 seconds, 1 second. That is an allied. That's an allied victory. 4-1. They've taken 1 point, 1 point only. We're going to jump in. Get your face ready, Beast. Get your face ready. We're going to jump into our poach match screen.
Always ready.
That's the wrong screen. That's my stupid face. This is both of us. Beast. I'll tell you, like, it was a bit of a stomp. That was a stacked OC allied side.
But I would say they did have the chance to win. I mean, they had a low-level commander on the other team.
Yep.
They were getting the spawns up in the right spots. I think it was just a case of they didn't have the pushing power.
And they did have a few moments that I
couple
thought they were doing
misplays.
okay. But they just never took advantage of it. The few times that they did push a few lads close to the strong point, they just didn't get close enough. Never took out that default Gary.
I think this next game's shaping up to be a good one. There's a lot of really high-level players in here.
Yeah.
A lot of them on one team, but I'm sure people are good at balancing, so they'll do the right thing.
Yeah, look, and that's what I found with the BD servers. If it's ever a stomp, you find people just wanting to change sides, challenge themselves, help out some new players. There's a damn good community around this place. I love playing on these servers.
Highlights.
I think it's been a really good place.
What was your highlight for that one, Stu? Mine has got to be the wonderful Greyhound and the not only the friendly fire killing his own driver, but killing his own Gary.
Yeah, that was absolutely fucking huge. Look, my thing, obviously, it's hard to move away from that allied defense. They never not once did they let their default Gary on that point go down. It was great to see. Who's your man of the match for your Axis boys?
I'd have to say the commander. He was doing all the right things. Sometimes it is pushing shit uphill, and the map was hill. It was a big hill, and there was a lot of shit on it.
I'm more than happy to give man of the match to him. Who was the commander? It was something Gag Reflex Barbie.
Gag Reflex Barbie, of course.
How good a name is that? For mine, just because we saw him later and he's OC zone, I'm going to give it to Brap. Just so long as nobody ever tells him that I gave him man of the match. Never. So long as you never bring it up ever again.
It may go to his head, but there's only one way to find out.
Oh, I know. I'm not looking forward to that. Nobody tell him. We're good. We're going to do another match. What map are we playing? This looks like Stalingrad, if I'm not mistaken.
The polar opposite of last map. You're used to cover. I present you with none. This map is very much dependent on using those flank Garys. And not only that, the very own Danger Klaus jumping in command.
Danger Klaus is jumping on.
He is. He's known for being aggressive and quick. This is definitely the map where he shines a lot, and that's because he's not afraid to use a half track and sacrifice that heavy tank.
He loves
Problem with this map, if you get that half track in there, it's very hard to get it out. He's
a really good lad as well. I like Danger. Just a good lad to play with. Is your camera ready to go? We might look at the team list and see how we're doing. I'm going to switch over to you at the moment. You don't have to look at our ugly mugs anymore. Here is NvSBeast's cast, and we're going to have a look at who's playing. Have a look at your side. Who's playing for the Allies, which is the filthy Russians on this side?
So we've got, of course, the Klaus going for the lead. He's got Kit, a couple lower levels, as you'd expect.
Yep.
Actually, he's got a lot of lower levels. I think this is going to be a tough one for Klaus, even though he does have the one that he can probably rely on. The lower players, even though sometimes you get great ones, sometimes you get ones that don't talk back to you.
It can be a bit of a mixed bag. Some of them are great, and some of them are just undiscovered. Some of them, however, have been playing for years and they're rubbish. But I guarantee you, every single one of the new players we're seeing in this game is going to be amazing. I'm going to talk through the Axis forces for this, because there are quite a few lads. We've got Repurpose Red Cordial and Aerotrix 999 making up Baker Squad. There you go. That is Repurpose in a tank squad. You don't see that very often.
No.
We've got Simcore from the Foy Boys, Nakajim from OC. They're in Charlie Squad. We're looking at, that's me, we don't need to talk about me, the Pooch from Emu War veterans, Sullivan and Brap, they're in Jig Squad, two great OC lads there. And looking up the top, I don't know whether he's going to play, he might just be jumping in, but we've got Fiercey, Just Fierce, OC Zone, and one of the lads in Big D. I'm wondering if he's going to pick up Commando, because I'd love to call a Fiercey commanded, Just Fierce commanded match. I think that'd be great. Ragnar Redbeard.
I know I would love to watch Klaus versus Commander. The only problem I would have for poor Klaus is I think this is going to be a tougher match for him. Although, he is doing himself a service. He's starting off with the flank, and his team are building nodes. That's always a good sign.
That's a very good sign.
If you've got at least one squad leader that can help you, you can do something.
Yeah. Absolutely. And just rounding out the clan tags, another one of OC's own, Beefy Sausage, is playing for the Axis forces. We're expecting a much better game this time. That was a bit of a stomp. That was a second point defense from the Allies last match we watched. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up my map and we're going to talk about what points we're going to be fighting over. This is a warfare map, so not an offensive this time. So we're fighting over. The middle point is Carriage Depot, the one bang in the middle of Stalingrad. To the right, the defensive points for the Soviets will be Pavlov's house and L-shaped house. Blah, that sounded like some sort of tongue twister in my mouth. And the Axis defensive points will be Komsomol HQ and City Overlook. So all down the bottom of the map there. Pavlov's house obviously in the middle and L-shaped house toward the top. They're the points we're fighting over.
And I think Klaus might be about to run himself into trouble. Of course, he's
switch over?
Using his brain. Yeah. He's using his brain and he's flanking, but he's flanking into their flank. And when everyone flanks, you just run at each other.
There's only so much flanking you can do.
Exactly, and unfortunately for him, there is a recon tanky, and if it sees him, which it probably will, he's dead.
No.
Oh, he's dodged the pooch, but does the recon tank turn? He's definitely counting his lucky stars,
got to be moving in. He sees him now. Is he going to be He's stopped, readying the gun.
He's dead.
Love a bit of machine gun. He's doing the right thing. He's saving his ammo.
For him, the other team has got stuck anyway. So even though he may have lost the fight, the war doesn't look like it's going too far.
Oh, sweet Jesus. You don't like to see that.
I just want you to know your friends aren't going to let you live this one down for a while.
Who is it?
Sin. S-I-N.
Oh, it was Sin. Right, good. How embarrassed is that man feeling right now? He doesn't know he's being casted. He doesn't know he was being looked at by us. But you know he's sitting there. He knows that everyone else on his team can see that he's got the truck stuck and he can't get the supplies down and he's being absolutely useless. I'm going to switch over to my screen. We're looking just over the top of that middle point. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Carriage Depot. And this looks like it's going to be an early cap from the Soviets.
It is, but the problem they're facing is they only have one Gary. There is the flanking supply truck, so it gives me hope. I have a feeling that Alvin, of course, Alvin and the Chipmunks, who exploded from last game.
Yep.
He's doing the right things. He's flanking. I think he's going to be Klaus's right-hand man for this game.
Yeah, look, and Klaus is going to have to rely on him because, look, there's potentially, as we said before, there's potentially some other great squad leads in there, but at least Alvin and the Chipmunks is a known quantity.
And just to let you know, his name isn't actually Alvin and the Chipmunks, but he was among chipmunks and some trees, so I just wanted it.
Fuck it, you know what? That works for me, my guy.
If it sticks, it sticks.
I'm going to expect him to, off the back of this cast, change his name to Alvin and the Chipmunks because I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say otherwise ever again. I'm just going to point out in chat, Blue Rose Jelly is going, what am I hearing? All the medic slander. Yep, look, I love a good medic. You know, I'm literally a medic in real life. Well, okay, like an ambo, but I love a good medic, but I like to talk shit about them. Ignicholas, all the medic slander, you know it, my guy. You know it. Ignicholas, very good friend of the stream.
Like every game with the Soviets, you have a Panzer IV being shot by a recoilless at range and bouncing off.
Let's have a look at that.
Repurposed, sitting there with the beautiful blowtorch, and it's doing jack shit. It's probably repairing as fast as it's being hurt, except it gets to shoot all the people at the bottom of the hill.
Oh god, I hate that fucking rifle. You have no idea.
It does nothing. But the problem it may face is if it sits here, they know where it is, they can flank. But I don't know if their tanks will. I don't know where their tanks are.
Blue Rose, medic equals
They're
best
dead.
class. There you go. That's a very big call. The amount that we don't really see any medics in the BPL, but you know what? Maybe it's just outside of the meta. I'm looking forward to them getting a buff at some stage in the future. I'd love to see medics back as a class, my guy.
The problem with medics being a class is they need to do something better.
Yeah.
The medic isn't really useful. Maybe if we had a planetside 2 grenade that could revive 10 people, it would. But I somehow don't think that was World War II friendly.
Yeah, that historically accurate heal grenade. Dude, I feel you. I'm just going to stick on your camera for like exactly 2 minutes. I'm going to leave you for a sec. I will be back in exactly 2 minutes, my guy.
That is quite alright. For those that are with me, who knows what that name says? Because I have no idea. Ooh, so one thing the attackers have done well is snuck a Gary right up the arse. Of course, love to see it. And it might play off. If Klaus can get his people attacking, they may just take it out from under him. The question is, will they get the 2 spawns again? Or bigger question, can I even find it?
All right, my guy. What did I miss? Tell me everything has happened.
You are missing Bob, the man, the myth, the legend, solo defender cap, totally AFK, and he might very well do it.
No
If
shit.
you look on my screen, he is the pride of the fatherland. He's the only one there, in fact. And it's not looking good.
No, it's
they've
not,
got
is
a
it?
full flanking Gary. They're not really getting the numbers they need, but 5 against 1 is 5 against 1.
I'm just going to draw your attention over to my screen at the moment. That was a bunch of Russians dying to this big push. We're looking over, what is that? The south of the map at the moment. This is a big Axis push coming down this side. They've taken out an entire squad of Soviets. I just saw him before. I just wanted to point out, there is Ig Nicholas. He's playing squad lead. Being backed up by Sim the Commander. Ig Nicholas, very good friend of the stream. If you haven't checked him out on the old Twitch, do yourself a favor, do that. There you go. He's getting a nice good flank as a squad lead. You love to see that. There you go. Let's get nice and deep.
On the defense, they are getting the Gary. They are right next to it.
Let's switch over and have a look at that.
Bob was not best. He was sitting there AFK and he met his end.
You know what? That was always going to happen. I just want to say, Brap, thanks for following, my guy. It is always a pleasure to have each and every one of you. Makes me happy. The only downside to following this channel is you have to listen to that alert, which is me playing guitar.
Well, it's clearly better than good or fortune trying to quickscope a Gary. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. As much as you might wish it to, it doesn't. And they've even put their nodes up here, which would... Although it is good to get nodes this close to the point, they're definitely going to die. They don't actually give you too much points for killing them, but they do hurt the team.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
They're going to be caught up in the classic game of everyone attack, no one defend. Doesn't matter how good your team is if it's stacked. If Bob is best is the only you have, it's not the best defense.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Komsomol HQ, I'm going to flick over to my screen at the moment. We're just flying over that point at the moment. You can see those reds. They are the Soviets. The reds are the Soviets on your screen at the moment. They're pushing into Komsomol HQ. Jeez, I'm not seeing a good enough defense on this.
I think it really comes down to what they do in the next 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I
completely
Germans
agree.
are pushing. They do have the numbers to push them back off, but they are about to cap being in the circle, and they do have a support there. If they are quick enough to put down a Gary, they can do it. But the squad leader has died, and the team's...
Yeah, I'm not seeing a squad lead or a commander in there. So yeah, they've got the ability to put the supplies down, but they're not going to get any more spawn points down there. So this will be impingent on the Axis to push them off.
And in fact, they have done the bombing run on carriage point, so they don't have that on their backhand anymore. And they didn't even hit anyone. Unfortunately, Itchy the medic, too quick.
See, I think that's probably a miss by Sim there.
I think that was just reading the map's momentum wrong, unfortunately, which does happen. You want your team to defend and hold, but you have to be a pessimist in these kind of things, because the moment you lose, you lose. Your attack disappears, or your Garys get wiped. You got to start again. And
I don't
now
know
there is
why
a lot of blue on this map.
There are. We're looking at, by the blue, we're looking at the reds in the middle of my screen at the moment is what we're talking about. I'll tell you what, their HQ's just going down as well. Can I get you to flick over there and have a look?
Klaus has done it again. Like I said last time, Klaus is very quick, and if you look at my screen, he's dropped a Gary right next to their mid HQ, and not only that, he's flexing. He's stood striking their HQ, which is where all of their team is going to be spawning as he's capping the point. So not only have they lost all their spawns, they're all going to spawn in the middle, and there's a good chance they're going to get hit by rockets.
Oh, I don't want to alarm you, Beast. You know how we gave...
He's got it.
You know how we gave Brap man of the match last match? And I said, just nobody let him know? He's in fucking chat. I'm never going to hear the end of this. Never again, Brap!
Here's the thing. I completely disagree. I reckon it was the tank.
You reckon it was the
Brap
tank?
didn't even kill the other tank. All I watched him do was die.
Oh, Tattoo's calling it. Default Garrison win. Called it 20 minutes ago. This is going to be GG, isn't it?
Yes. But it's somewhat fair. I mean, this team did have the underdogs. They certainly didn't have the higher players. It just comes down to a good commander playing well and a guy that can help. And Danger Klaus cleaning up 3 people in just one go.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
absolutely.
Nicholas too strong and can aim. And that is actually a defensive airhead. There's an airhead next to an airhead.
I don't think it's going to be in time. This is going to be GG. This is it.
Well,
there you go. Look, the stream has been going for exactly 40 minutes. Are we going to do another game? Is this going to be a 3-fer? Do you have time?
I'm all for it.
Excellent.
I'm all for it. They're good games. I've seen a tank killed its own Gary. I've now seen 2 airheads 10 meters from each other. It's just getting better and better.
I'm assuming man of the match for this one. We've got to give it to Klaus, don't we?
No.
No.
I mean, no. Klaus played well, but Alvin set up the attack. Alvin gave him that momentum.
Alvin took
the truck. Alvin got the spawn. Alvin did it. I mean, teamwork.
Nicholas votes for
Klaus
one more after
helped.
Stalingrad.
But he did it.
There you go. Was that was a lot of OC lads on the Blues, wasn't it?
Yeah, but
Did we?
as a great man once said, just get in the circle. If you're not in the right circle, you lose. That's it.
Rap, got a bit of shit on your shirt there, Stu. You know what, brother? You fucking know it. Look, I'm well aware that we're a shit football side. I'm well aware of this. You know what? Fucking come on, you Irons. Love myself a little bit of West Ham.
I just want you to know, Stu, I do not follow football, and that's why I pick Arsenal, just because it pisses everyone else off.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
Yeah, you guys are rubbish. It's fine. Dude, that was a good match.
Don't even know.
How much fun is this shit? How good is it watching these dumb public matches from above? The quality of match has been actually really good. I've been impressed.
Yeah, and I think it just comes down to key players doing the right things.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you look at Alvin, he got 5 combat effectiveness. He probably only saw 2 people that game. But he built all the Garys with Klaus, and that's Garys win games.
Doing the team thing, I fucking love to see it. This is going to be Saint Mare Iglees. It's going to be a German offensive map. We're just going to have to spend a little bit of time setting up our squads and declining all the people that want to join. Because I'll tell you what, actually, we're not going to go a recon squad. That's probably a bad idea.
And defensive yet again. So we may have a repeat of the game before. The default Gary might just take it again.
No, not another default Gary. This will be the last match. Regardless of how this match goes, this will be the very last one that we cast. Three for the price of 1. I hope you guys are enjoying yourself. I'm certainly enjoying myself. It's a pleasure hanging out with NvSBeast here. Damn good lad to be co-casting with. It's a pleasure to be here. I know. It's going to be ages. I've got 76 seconds on the deploy.
I'm here for a while. Alvin's stepped back up to to squad lead, which is good.
Okay.
And yeah, they're looking like they're getting some really good squad leads this game. Like I said, I talked a bit of smack on the lower levels last game, but they won.
I know.
Do it again.
I know. They absolutely killed it.
Got everything to prove. That's all I have to say.
There's a few new lads that are jumping in.
I'm just done the cheeky team swap.
Has he?
I'm sad, Klaus. He has.
Oh, there you go. Bog the dog. Hey there, mate. Dude, we're just a little bit delayed, so I'm going to pop this up. A little bit delayed. Bog the Dog. Hey there, how are you, brother? Pleasure to have you in chat. Welcome back, my guy. We're just going to talk. I'm going to talk about some of the lads that are joining in at the moment. We've still got Airtrix, Red Cordial, and Ig Nicholas. They're playing a tank squad. They're Fox squad. Sully Band, Beefy Sausage, and Rule 303. I love a bit of Rule 303. Have a look at that fucking score. Have a look at that experience. That is level 442. Is that not fucking terrifying?
If there's anything I know about Rule, he loves a good grind, and he loves getting points.
Yeah, he does. I did see the pooch there as well from EMU War Veterans.
And today is definitely a strange day. Lucian taking up command. I know he just loves doing that to piss people off.
Lucian
he is a good commander, but he does not do it. Oh, sorry, Lucian.
Lotion.
I know he hates being called Lotion.
Sing out. Is your camera up?
Yes, but I haven't pressed the buttons.
We'll get there eventually, I promise.
We are here. I'm ready.
There we go.
The Zerg, of course, by the old man Sean, running in. It's probably not that old either. It's probably not very nice.
I know. Dude, I'm like 30. Just stop it.
This cap's always a given. I think they're going to have to do pretty badly to lose it, simply because...
Yeah, I agree.
Well, look at Sean's legs go. Look at him run. He's zooming.
For an apparently old dude, according to you, he's got a bit of speed on him.
An old dude with a grenade. That's how confident he is. He looks like he's having a VB long neck in his hand. He's not a worry in the world.
Bog the Dog says, the Hurtgen game was a somp. Yeah, it absolutely was. That was, they never lost their default, Gary. You know, you win some, you lose some. That's why we're on to our third match now. I'm just going to switch over to my screen, my guy. We're just gonna have
I think this light tank is about to get a hell of a kill feed. If the truck didn't park in the way. Nothing better than a friendly truck just sitting in the way of the gun.
Oh, is it? Now, am I saying this right? Is it called a Lux? A Lux? I never know whether I'm saying it right.
No. I think it's a Lux.
A Lux? Das ist ein good Lux, yeah? Das ist good.
Good enough. Oh, and the friendly team kill. Good start to a tank game. Got a Christnet with a team kill.
Who's in that? Who's in that light?
Comad, of course.
Of course. We're just going to switch over to my screen. Looks like the Allies are going to take flak position at the moment. The Allies? Am I saying that right? Yeah, it is the Allies.
Don't even know.
No,
you're the Allies.
Nope, I'm the Allies. Never mind. You know what I'm talking about. I'm the Allies. That is the Axis forces. Obviously, it's a German offensive. So Axis forces taking...
Alvin's showing us how switched on he is again. He's up the front. He's got himself a support. He's dropping the Gary. This man should basically be commander. He's doing all the right things. He's in the right spots.
Alvin, does he have a clan?
Alvin's doing it. Alvin is Alvin.
Just Alvin?
And that's all he needs to be. Just Alvin.
Somebody recruit that man.
The sausage. Will he give him the sausage? Not today. In fact... It looks like he shot him in the sausage, so yeah.
There you go. Effective. Are we going to switch over?
Alvin's carving it up. I have nothing negative to say. He's doing well.
Oh, look, I wouldn't have anything negative to say about him. Yeah, as soon as I literally just switched over to your feed. Of course, it's the commentator's curse. Elvin going down as soon as we started watching him. You know what? Good run. I appreciate that guy. He'd be a shoo-in for the man of the match at the moment, wouldn't he?
He would, certainly. And he's certainly putting impressions where they are. I wouldn't be surprised if he got 4 DMs from 4 different people by the end of this game. He's doing all the right things. He's in all the right places.
And I'll tell you what, there are some BPL brass watching this stream and jumping into chat at the moment. I'd expect every single one watching to be taking note of Elvin and going, how can we recruit him? How can we make him OC's next big player?
Of course. I can see the keyboards typing already. And they may very well just find out he's busy.
What just exploded up there?
A truck.
That was a troop transport truck. I'm just going to flick over
and with a body in it. Literally one guy thought he could take on the world. And
it turns out he was wrong.
Turns out by the looks of his guts, he said no.
Transport trucks, not the easiest thing. I'm just going to swoop in, have a look at the defenses on Western Approach. It looks like the engineers have actually been doing some work. I really like to see this on offensive maps. When they take the time to put up defenses, you've got a barricade and a Belgian gate with a little bit of barbed wire off to the side, blocking off that main road. And and giving the Allies a chance to put a bit of defense on Western Approach here. The Axis, obviously, it's an offensive map, and the point is a little ways away from the last one. We're looking at a midpoint, a top point, sorry, and moving on to a midpoint. So it will take them some time to move down. And you can see the bulk of the Axis forces to the top of your screen. They're the red berries on your stream at the moment. And you'd expect that murder ball to start pushing in and start eating up some of that ground and taking sector control away from the Allies.
And of course, this game, Lucian's team is really showing us that they're really switched on. You've already seen the supply truck flanking, trying to prep those Garys.
Yeah.
What I'd like to see he's already getting his nodes up, so obviously he can't drop Garys forward, but that gives him the ability to play the long game. The fact that there's this many supply trucks, there's 3 on the map already, they're really trying to get stuff done. All the nodes coming up. I'm sure the Garys will be prepped soon.
Let's pull up your map. Let's have a look at a bit of a map compare and see what we're looking at on both sides. There you go. That's
so
both
right now,
maps
they're just running
side.
off the 2. They really should be trying to flank around, but again, they're focusing on the supplies. Unfortunately, none of them have realized they can just drop it all the way back there. They didn't have to drive out. It's this game mode. They could have dropped it.
I know.
But it is what it is.
So what I'm looking at the moment, for the Allies' defense, we've still got all 3 default garrisons up, and they have put an extra garrison on in D5, protecting Western Approach, assuming that default will go down at some stage. Assumption is the mother of all fuck-up, and we didn't see it last time. I'll tell you what, they've got 2 of their nodes up in the front line, though.
I think the important thing that's happening, if you scroll out, is that medium tank. It's not very far away, and on a map like Western Approach, the moment you lose that tank fight, you're going to struggle.
Yeah,
you know, they haven't prepped their angles yet. I understand it's quick, but the fact that they haven't got multiple attacks yet says the moment that tank comes in, this attack's going to die.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's flick over and have a quick squiz at this. This is to the top of your screen. Western Approach is sort of just off to the bottom of your screen at the moment. That's a good murder ball coming from the Axis assault at the moment. Simcore trying to hold them up. Uber Kermit is a great name. That's a sniper. He's just taken down Are All Regrets. So hopefully they might be able to blunt this attack a little bit. But they have got in behind them. Aussie and Simcore just taking out one of the lads in the house. Let's see if Simcore can take out the enemy, his fellow enemy squad leader. We can't really see stuff in house. We can see 2 dots dancing around in the house at the moment. Simcore's downstairs. Aussie's upstairs. This is going to be a battle of 2 squad leads. Doesn't look like they've seen each other. Actually, they're not in the same house.
Well, I have a stealthy commander over here. We've got 3 guys in a bush and 1 commander ready to do it all. He's about to commit some sins, and that's one. You can hear him, but he can't see him. Oh, and the bush Wookiee strikes, laying down.
He's just going to be a human
like
claymore.
the
Takes it
scum
out.
he is.
A little bit of Thompson action. Love it.
Bush Wookiee tactics, they work, but unfortunately, the bush Wookiee kills the bush
Beep,
Wookiee.
beep,
Beep,
kabang? Is it? What's
I
that
can
guy's
read,
name?
sure. Yep, it's kabang.
Beep, beep, kabang. Taking down the enemy, taking down Sin, the enemy commander.
And I think the Lux was met by a mine. You rarely see them, but given there's a truck corpse there, makes sense.
Love it. That road is now being cluttered with the corpses of Axis vehicles, which obviously will stop them a little bit if they try and advance through that area.
And I think they're making the unfortunate thing is they're trying to push through the wheat field, but the wheat field ends.
Yeah. There is a lot of space before the end
from the wheat field. What they need to do, and of course Alvin, the MVP, is doing it, is get their angles. One thing I fear he might make a mistake in is going too close. 100 meters will proxy it out. If he gets too close, the Gary won't work.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right.
When you have a Gary limit of 8, you can always drop one back here at the road and then drop another one.
Yeah, of course you can. So we've just switched back to the overhead view at the moment. What we're looking at the moment, the red berries to the top of your screen, is a very, very well spread out Axis assault. It looks like, just having a look here, I've just noticed that is a medium tank for the Allies. It's holding down, almost single-handedly, holding down this right flank of the Allied forces. Beefy Sausage is the support, in support of that tank. Oh, that tank is OC's own Aerotrix, Red Cordial and Ignicholas. They're doing some work. All they need to do is sit there. What have they got?
They have a problem. Alvin's, as I said, Alvin had his Gary. It was up, but it's just gone red. They were about to get people pull in, but well, it's green again. See,
we're going to switch over to you and see what you're talking about. Whilst we'll leave
when you have it this close, sometimes it spawns, but sometimes it goes red. One thing a lot of people don't know, if you keep it if you click spawn and it goes red,
Yep.
so long as you don't click anywhere else,
Yep.
if it goes green again, you'll still have the same timer and you'll spawn in.
Still get in there. Snitsy, you started too late. You should have damned me. I would have chucked some large views. Dude, Snitsy, it's just a fucking pleasure to have you, mate. I don't always get a choice. I don't always get a choice when I go live with these ones. So, look, and I appreciate it. You've always been good to me. Anybody that's watching this, if you haven't watched Snitsy on Twitch, click on that name that's just come into chat. Click on that name. Give him a follow. He's a damn good Aussie lad and has a delicious mustache. Go give him a watch. He's a good egg.
So the problem, oh, here we go. The numbers are starting to come out. The problem he faces is when that force turns around, they only have to get to about that plane, and the Gary turns off.
Yeah.
But if they're smart, which they haven't shown yet, but if they're smart and they get their OPs down, they're fine.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
They haven't done it yet.
I'm just going to pull out to my screen. We're looking at a bit of a higher angle here. This is what we were just looking at with NvSBeast's stream. Is those red berries to the right are the blue lads. They are the Nazi forces that he was talking about before. They've started to push off this Gary. It doesn't look like the allies are doing enough to push out and push off that Gary. Looks like Sin is trying to work his way around.
The commander is there, and I have a feeling he's going to start screaming. They've done the classic being pulled off the cap. They're obviously trying to push them away.
Yeah.
But when you push them away and they sneak in behind, you've effectively failed.
Yeah, absolutely you have.
And that tank's now turned around as well.
Oh, has it? Is that the medium tank with Ignicolas in it?
Yes, the medium tank. The gun is pointing. It's not directly at the Gary, but it will shoot everything that comes down that street. And he's got the perfect angle to do it.
There we go. We're just going to switch over here. This is what we're talking about. This is that medium tank with Ignicolas.
And the Gary's locked.
Red collie.
Because Sin is within that 100 meters, the Gary's now pointless. That's why I said you can probe, right? You have 8 Garys, you've got 2 on the map. Drop 2.
Yeah. So Sin won't know that he's currently locking out that Gary. Obviously, it's a little bit easy for us because we can see every garrison and every human that's on the map. He won't know that all he needs to do is sit there and wait for support. He'll keep trying to push and take out that Gary. We're looking at Sin. Sin just going down to Rogash every time. Literally every time I talk about anybody. Machine gunner not being effective. Rogash got across the street. What are we looking at?
They do have the recon in the back line, but again, they're getting too keen. They're prepping for the next cap, but it's not working. They need to drop them back. You know, you've got all these angles and you're pushing from one.
Yeah. I'll tell you what though, I'm looking out towards the west on my screen now, and the viewers are looking at it. They do have a good wide push coming from that western side from the Nazis. That'll take a lot of those blueberries to start pushing this back to make sure that none push up. I know Rule 303 sitting in there. Silver. Cycropsy. There you go. There's a big spawn in that wheat field you were talking about from the Axis forces. Bombing run going through point now. Taking out a couple. The biggest problem with this point is there are a lot of houses. They were hiding in the houses, so there's not much they're going to be able to do about that. Reasonably ineffective bombing run for mine.
It's a hard cap to bomb. Look, people love buildings. Buildings work. And unfortunately, he didn't hit that Gary. He might have hit the Gary, though. Do you still have the Gary up?
No, he has taken down the garrison. It looks like the default garrison. Is that still the default? Yeah, that's still the default garrison out front. What we're talking
and here we go again. Default win. And that again, that default is in a good spot.
We can't have another match where second point default Gary stays up for the whole lot, can we? It can't happen twice, surely.
Now we might have some tank action here. We've got a Panzer IV. It's getting in position, but I have a feeling the Sherman is watching. In fact, it's even shooting in that direction. I think it just comes down to who gets the first hit.
Yeah, that German we were talking about with Ignicolas before, he's currently facing west. It doesn't look like, from my point of view, nobody's pointed out that tank. I don't know what's happening in command chat.
The driver's shooting MG at it, though. That is the gun from the driver.
Oh, it is too.
And the rocket.
There you go. He is pointing out the tank. I love a good as a driver. It's really,
so they've got a hit, but it's bounced, and they just shot a tree, so not much better.
That M4...
I think the Sherman's going to die. It took a rocket in the back.
Yeah, the M4 is being rocketed by War Daddy. I'm just going to switch over to my screen. War Daddy's the AT, off to the left of your screen, shooting another rocket. Oh, it's not enough! Not enough, the Sherman's still up!
The Panzer IV shot a tree. So, it's
in his...
They're both deflecting, bouncing, and shooting trees.
In his defense, it was an enemy tree, and that tree is now obviously hurting.
And that's another shot bounce. They're shooting the gun, and it's bouncing.
There
It's a hard shot. There's stuff in the way. That's 4 bounces now.
That is 2 medium tanks bouncing rounds off the front of each other. Oh, that looked like a pen. The M4 taking it out.
No, it penned, but it penned the turret, and it takes a lot in the turret.
Yeah, it does too.
But that bounced. I think they might get it on this next shot. No, still the turret.
Oh, you'd be so frustrated. I know exactly how frustrated Red Cordial is.
I think those fences are blocking the angle, so they have to choose between shooting a turret and shooting a fence.
Yep, and that round just went short. There you go. That's the M4 taking out the Panzer IV. Delicious.
And unfortunately for War Daddy, he is on their back and he can't do much. But Vincent is coming in with, I think, the satchel.
Is he now?
Yes.
War Daddy
that tank will be scared to move. War Daddy's out of rockets, but the guy behind him has the satchel. But the tank turned around.
The M4 pointing around. War Daddy's got to know. War Daddy is now in.
Embracing his bushwhacking.
War Daddy is now in 3 separate bits. Obviously, that's not going to be as healthy for him as he would have wished. Vincent is still hiding in the bush there. Let's see whether or not he's going to be able to get on the back of this.
Unfortunately, I don't think he's quick enough. No, I think he's too busy hiding.
And like, I know the lads that are in that tank. They are damn good tankers. You know that they'll be aware of anything. I can't see them getting satcheled.
And
Vincent
it looks
moving
like
up.
They've done what I originally said, and they've dropped the Gary a bit further back. Oh no, they've done a half track further back, so there's a big push coming in now.
Let's switch over and have a look at what you're looking at.
There's a big stream. The only problem is that they're running in the same mistake. They're all committing to one angle at a time. Now, yes, they do have 2, but they're in the same direction. Left and right is still in front of you. They need more.
Look, I completely agree.
Instant, they just need more. It's a hard map. It takes time. You need more.
Yeah. Look, I agree. I think what you like to see, especially with a good new half-track spawn like that, you like to see your squad leads branching off from that and starting making their OPs in multiple different places. So that line of attack could be sectors wide by now. But that's exactly what they haven't done. And look, they're just dying.
Oh, but here we go. They've got that North Gary up now. Lucian looks like he's doing the right thing and he's prepping resources where it's needed.
So I'm thinking about making a rule against talking up OC lads in this chat, just because I know I'll never hear the end of it. If we say Lotion's done a good job, I'll never hear.
No, I'm not saying he's done a good. There should be supplies here. There should be supplies here. Good. But there's not.
Good. Get better, Lotion.
Get good. I'm never gonna hear the end of that.
No,
no, that's right. One thing they could have done, yes, the half track is safe, but it is a half track. You can send it in. They're pretty hard to proxy.
Yeah, they are.
Actually, no, I think he's done the right thing, because unfortunately for him, he can only get it to about this house where he attacked last time, and then it won't work, because it will lock out, because it will be outside the sector. So I think the far back does work.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. So I've just got the viewers looking at the up high angle of Western approach. We're seeing those red berries on my screen, which we are currently looking at. Those red berries will be the Axis forces, and that's that push. If you have a look towards the top, we can see that that marker. So it does look like that half track has been marked up. Brap is moving around the top. I don't think he's got anything to potentially take it out, but we'll see. I'm sure he'll do something. Let me move across there and have a look and see what quick look, see what Brap's doing.
And of course, it is a beautiful day. The same guy has got the AT gun back up. Clearly, he's unlocked it and he's ready to show the world.
Excellent. Let's switch over to you. Let's have a look at that AT gun and what you're looking at the moment.
Look, I don't think he loves his sight lines too much, because you probably won't even see the tank coming. But it's an AT gun. It should... Maybe not the top of the house. I don't even think they can get there. No, unfortunately they can't get in the chimney, but if they could, they would be very good.
That's right. So now we know any allies that might have been in that chimney are obviously dead. You win some, you lose some.
Exactly, and they are getting pretty close on this.
There you go. I've just got a chat. First time chat from Danger Klaus has jumped into the chat. Welcome, my guy. Fucking pleasure to have you. It says looks, pronounced looks, means links. Lax, pronounced Lux, means salmon. So I'm guessing that the tank's going to be named after a lynx. So I think it's probably going to be a Lux.
Ooh, and we have a recon tank, which may not be very long for this world. He's taken it all the way up. Problem with the recon tanks is their armor is like butt. But if it's bullets, then they don't do too much.
One rocket will spell the end of that tank. They are trying to shoot it.
Unfortunately for Habit Thief, he's even shaking his head. But he missed. He missed. Oh, and Spectre's gonna spell it at the end of days and remind it.
There it goes, and that's exactly what you were talking about. Bombing run coming in. I don't know whose bombing run that was. That looks like it was an Axis bombing run. I don't know whether it's had much effect. Run, yep. They are starting to push into point,
body parts. Oh, there's 3 OPs, a lot of bodies, and they're still there.
So it missed the OPs, it just got the lads. Good.
Yep. And unfortunately, he watched it all happen. Live on camera. He looks shocked. If you look at him, he doesn't seem overly happy about it. He looks a little.
He's got that 1,000-mile stare going. He looks about 17. I don't know whether he's old enough to be in the army, to be fair.
Well, he did just shoot a Blackbeard, so old enough.
I'm going to switch over to my screen just so we can have a look at what's happening. In the middle of your point at the moment is Western Approach. That's the point we're fighting over at the moment. There are 11 minutes left on this cap. 11 minutes before it's GG. What we're looking at is all the red berries. They are the Axis forces. They'll be pushing in through the top. They do have a good spawn point up towards the top right of your screen at the moment. Up towards the top right is a half track, and they've been continually spawning to push to put pressure on this point. The biggest problem is it looks like the allies have started responding to this. Old Greg, Renjorst, and Ringo pushing on to that left side of your screen at the moment. One of them going down there. Looks like Morali, Habibi Thief, and Fatal Flaw with Camel Toe Ringo. Jesus, that felt gross in my mouth. Providing the bulk of the defense for the allies at the moment. Ringo, you'd like to see that guy get down an OP. There you go. Going down. I don't think he does. I'm not sure whether he's got an OP now.
Solution in this case. He's got the tanks, he's got the fuel, he's got a heavy tank sitting at main, but he's only got one-man tank crews. And unfortunately, they don't do too much. So yes, they have the majority with the tanks. They're one-man tanks. They're light tanks, they're medium tanks. He's got heavy tanks, but no one's in them. And if no one's in them, they're not working. So his attacks are dying as quick as they're coming up. He's got the 2 angles, but again, they're dying.
Blue Rose Jelly? What? Good lord. Look, they're doing some work. This is a scrap all round. Can I get you to do me a favour? Can you pick any allied forces that you like the look of, and we're going to follow them into point and follow their journey, trying to attack this point. So just pick one and we'll switch over to you.
Well, I think I'm going to have to pick this half track.
There we go.
Between running it. Unfortunately, it's a rogue engineer, and as much as rogue engineers think they know best, parking a half track in the middle of a field, not always the best choice.
So, I don't have
yes,
that
they need to get closer, but the problem is someone stands on the other side of that hedge. It doesn't work anymore.
Is it currently unlocked?
Yes, but he's running away from it. And
why is he running away?
Sees it,
stay and defend.
So he's got about 50 seconds to spawn, and there's a lot of people around him.
Yeah, he's probably going to struggle.
Alvin is backing him up.
Alvin.
May work, he may not.
God, he's done some work.
It's definitely a high-risk play, and we'll just have to see how it goes. The problem I see with this is, if it dies, so does their push. They haven't dropped a Gary on the back to replace it. That's not good.
I'm having a look at the moment. We've got El Pace. I'm going to switch over to my screen. El Pace is an AT. I don't know whether he knows that half track is there, because all he needs to do is have a look over this way. Well, it's just been smoked up, so we'll probably struggle to see it. But if somebody tells him that just to his right is a half track, one rocket. There you go. There's a big spawn. That was a huge play with that half track. You'd expect them to start pushing in now, start gaining some ground. If they can get a spawn point down here, that'll be the end of Western Approach. Let's see.
I think it's just one of those things that it shouldn't have worked, but sometimes they do. What they need to do now, though, is they need to kill that default Gary.
Yeah, they do.
I don't think they know where it is. It's quite far away.
And
Just have to see.
a lot of that relies on communication. If nobody's told them that, nobody's heard that the default Gary's down, nobody knows that it is, they'll probably struggle.
And unfortunately, they've still got people running through fields. Yes,
tell you
they've
what,
got the angles. Is this the bombing run?
The bulk of
Yes,
that
bombing run on the default Gary.
bombing run
bombing
coming in.
on the default Gary.
That's an Axis bombing run coming in.
And it killed it. It's dead.
But default Gary's finally going down. There you go.
At least I think it's the default Gary. It might have just been a normal Gary this whole time.
And I don't want to alarm you, but that is a massive spawn wave for the Axis on the left side of your screen.
And there's three people on the cap.
Yep, and having a look at it, there are no spawn points for the allies on that cap point.
And now all their defenders have got the sector control, but unfortunately they haven't got the sector that matters.
Yep.
The circle. This one is a get in the circle game, and the circle's looking awfully blue right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Red on my screen. So the Axis are going to take this point, I think. I don't think that the allies have much in the way of an ability to push off this assault.
The solo Tiger tank has, of course, died to the tank with 3 people in it, as you'd expect. Didn't even turn the gun.
Oh, good lord. Spartan, hey mate, how you going? Let me just pop a little bit of one of these in. Spartan, always a fucking pleasure to have you around these parts, my guy. How are you? Genuinely loved that Alien versus Predator stream the other day. It brought me a lot of joy, my guy. Welcome back. Welcome back. We are delayed by 15 minutes, so if you're expecting a speedy response, you might be in the wrong place. But you know what? Stick around. We've got a little bit of spectator cam going. We're casting this match. And this is Western Approach. It's going to be taken by the Axis forces. That was well done.
And if anything, the half-track died. So now there's going to be people hopefully spawning in the right spot. If they had a spawn. Unfortunately,
that's a very good point.
I mean, I understand why they haven't prepped. It makes sense. They've just got to wait for the supplies to drop, and the best thing they can do right now is die. It will be a case of who actually responds.
It's kind of funny when you see this with a lot of your blueberries, red berries on mine. The more of them that die here, I think the better it'll be for the team. Because they'll start...
There is a good amount on checkpoint already, so unfortunately I don't think it's going to be that much. They don't have a spawn point.
Let's get over to checkpoint.
But there is the airhead. The airhead is coming in the back. He's going for the church, and I think Rule might have spotted it.
Really? I'm going to follow that airhead down. Can I get you to keep an eye on checkpoint? Let me know if there's anything worth looking at over there. I'm going to follow, and me and the viewers are going to follow this airhead down, see whether or not it's going to be effective.
What I would point out is Rule is absolutely sprinting towards it. I don't think he's quick enough, but he is a satchel.
Damn good player, Rule. I got a lot of time for that guy.
But there's way too many buildings in the way, and I don't think his throwing arm's that good. No, I don't think you're right either. So there you go. That's the airhead going down. To the bottom of your screen now. Rule 303, a man with a level of about 444, if I'm not mistaken. That's terrifying. Imagine if he had spent that time trying to cure cancer. We'd have it sorted by now. But no, I appreciate that he's put this much time into the game because it means we've got a good game to cast. There you go. Rule 303 to the top of your screen at the moment. I think there's probably going to be a spawn wave come off this airhead before he manages to get down here. There are a lot of that. Oh, that is a huge spawn wave. Look at that. Lucian has done himself the favour and he's dropped it in a spot where it's so many backyards. It's so hard to beat through.
There's no good lines of sight.
Unfortunately, Rule went the wrong way.
Did he?
And now he's going to meet a good 15 people.
There you go. Rule 303 going down to Vincent then. Sullivan, good player. Damn good player, Sullivan. I don't know whether he's going to be able to hold off the entirety of the Axis team, though.
I'd like to watch him try that, though.
All right, let's get in there. Let's see what Sully's doing.
He's got one. He's got
one. One's a good start. He's not looking that... Red and Horse taking out Sullivan. As soon as I got down to have a look at him, yeah, that was just too many lines for him to too many lines. So that seems like a problem that we're not going to talk about because we don't do illegal stuff. But too many lines of advance for Sullivan to look at, and he goes down. This Axis assault is looking good. That is one hell of a murder ball coming from sort of that church area.
One problem, and that's they haven't got their other attacks up. Beefy Sausage has taken out the airdrop by the looks of it, and that's going to be a problem.
Hey, Beefy Sausage, damn good player. Damn good OC player. Got a lot of time for that one.
And certainly one that's improved a great amount. I'm loving watching him getting better and better.
Oh,
that's
100%.
Why he was our most improved with Ginge.
Oh, he was too, wasn't he? Yeah, and I completely agree with that. And just a damn good lad.
With the shotgun, he's taken out another rogue engineer. Why there's rogue engineers, I don't know. But not today.
There he is, friend of the stream.
And of course, tactically securing the points, because why not?
Delicious, delicious points. Satcheling a completely useless transport truck.
But here's the death ball.
Look at the murder ball going in. That's huge, and they've spread out very well. How are the OPs and spawn points looking around checkpoint at the moment?
All on the airhead. There is a Gary, which is good, so they've backed that up. So
Excellent.
if they can keep them off the if they can keep them far enough away, it will work. Unfortunately, I think a monkey brain is one too many. If he sneaks in that backside, I think they're going to have problems. In fact, I think he's just locked it out now.
I'll just get you to keep your map up for a second.
And he's dead.
Well, yep, probably not going to be enough then. Chuck your map up for me. And we're going to have a quick compare. What I'm looking at, so the left side of the map is what I'm talking about at the moment. We've got the one garrison up in Foxtrot 7 for the Allies, and one garrison on checkpoint itself. Having a look to the right-hand side, it looks, if you're looking at my map here, this is where the bulk of the Axis assault is coming through. They won't know it.
Question though.
Yeah, what do you got?
Scroll out.
Yep.
Okay, so I was wondering if you had people on the edges, but you don't. They're all in the right spot. But the problem is they're sifting around them. If you look on the side, your guys are going to get the spawns, but if you trade caps for spawns, it doesn't always work.
Yeah,
but
exactly. They are in a good spot. The problem I think we're looking at for the Axis is what we're looking up back up there is all their spawns are in the one spot. So that Allied garrison on your left there, they're sort of pushing right across their line of advance there. The Axis are going to need to deal with that Gary before they're able to push on checkpoint, I'd say.
The problem I'm seeing too is there's not enough OPs down. We've 3 or 4, maybe even 5, but they're close combat. They can die very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. Where are we? Checkpoint is towards the middle of your screen at the moment. And we're looking up now towards the bulk of the fight. And that's what we were looking at the map before. Those blueberries towards the top left of your screen, they're pushing off that garrison up there and trying to dominate that area up the top where all the red berries have their garrison and all their OPs. That's where the airhead fell down and we saw Rule try and get it, but failed, man. Spartan, Rip War Daddy. I agree, my guy. I'll tell you what, there is a good Axis assault coming towards the right of your screen at the moment. That will be the eastern side of the map. What do you got?
Unfortunately, there is something that is the bane of my existence in every game.
What do you got?
And it's a red Gary on the enemy's face. It might feel good, but it doesn't do a whole lot.
Oh, I know. But I'll tell you what, they are pushing out from there. If they can try and push through there a little bit, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to now that I've said that. But you know what? Win some, you lose some.
And unfortunately, they've attracted the attention of the 76, which is, of course, at the top of the road, locking everything down.
Let me... you're on top of that at the moment. Yeah, that's a good spot for it to be. Are there any... What is the Axis armor doing at the moment?
Driving. By itself. One man again.
So it's moving up there.
He has no armor squads. He has no armor squads.
Probably not going to help him. Obviously, I love a good Axis armor squad. Feels good driving a Tiger around, doesn't it? But
the Tiger could get in a good spot because it's not looking, and it might get the kill because there's no one there to see it. Oh, Klaus might see it.
Yeah, Klaus might see it. And who's in that 76 at the moment? Is that our friends Nicholas and Red?
Of course it is.
Yeah, exactly. Look, that is a very, very experienced armor squad there. You would expect that their commander's not going to be
I think they're going to die, though. I think that solo tank is going to get him. If that hedge, if it gets the right sight line, which it might just get, even if it's one man, it only needs to hit. Unfortunately, the hedge has saved them. By the looks of it, that hedge is just in the way.
The Tiger has been marked up, so the Allies are aware of it. Is that 76 moving to counter this at all?
I don't see it, maybe. Oh, he's reversing.
There you go.
And
That's
the power of the hedge.
That Tiger has absolutely been marked up. He has jumped into the gunner seat.
I fear for. Unfortunately, Alvin, in all his good plays, might be about to meet Mr. 76. The power of the bush saves him again. But I wonder if Klaus is going to give him a good old g'day. Yes, he is.
Danger Klaus taking down Alvin. Now, that is 2 damn good players that we've been following over the last couple of games.
I think he's about to explode. I reckon that tank's going to shoot him.
That tank is moved back into the driver's seat, and he's decided instead of holding where he should have,
he's jumped 76.
He's jumped into the driver's seat. He's going to cop it from the 76. That is a front-on shot from the 76. He's in the driver's seat. There's nothing he's going to be able to do about this. That Tiger's going to go down. I can almost guarantee it. There you go. As we were saying,
and it just goes to show one man tanks don't work.
You can't solo tank. No. But that was some damn good tanking by Red Cordial Nicholas, and I forget who the other
lad was. There is a death ball. If we look at the map, we can see a big old, in your colour, red death ball running straight towards that cap.
Oh,
they've done the classic. They've pulled them all out of the cap. They've been good defenders, and now they're starting to cap.
That's the flop. And we're having a look at my screen at the moment. We can see those blueberries. That's the bulk of the Allied defences at the moment. They've pushed forward, trying to deal with this Axis assault
from the north. On the Gary already. Aussie is taking it down. Ringo in support. I don't think they're going to hold it.
That's going to be a checkpoint, I think.
They've defended too well, in a way. They've pushed out too actively, and they've been baited off the cap. It takes one Gary in the right spot, and sometimes that's all it needs.
I think the hardest thing for them, I don't know whether they'll be aware how big this push is, because it has been contested a couple of times. Like, it's still flicking back between losing and contested, so they might assume that there's just a couple moving off. But what they won't be aware of... Yep.
The problem is, in this game mode, you cap twice as fast, and that goes very quickly.
Yeah,
because most people respond when something's halfway, and when halfway is 30 seconds, you're not quick enough, no matter how fast your feet are.
No, and especially given there's no way they can spawn back now. This is going to be an Axis cap. It's going to be another Axis cap.
There is a lot of people running into that cap, though, and I think with a reinforced, they might do it. Maybe that bombing run I can hear coming. It'll be close. And they've done it.
They have dropped the reinforce. Bombing run coming in. That's going to be... It has taken out a few lads, and probably not as many as he would have liked, but that is the...
But it's bought them the time.
Yeah, absolutely it has. Checkpoint is now being defended by the Allies. Lots of them moving back into point now. I'm interested to see, off to our right now, whether or not, now that they've pulled all the lads off that northern assault that they were defending previously, that northern assault should be able to push up and actually start taking some ground.
But there is one problem, and that's they don't have enough Garys. They need to keep prepping. Northern assault's already lost their Gary, and the western one is being hit by Hardy.
Oh, that is a big spawn wave. Just spawned on checkpoint for the Allies. They're going to push out and defend. They're going to hold checkpoint for now. They've still got another 19 minutes. That is 19 total minutes to hold on to this point before it's GG.
I think that western approach is going to start meeting some problems. I think they really need to set up north. And maybe, might not fit it in, but maybe try a sneak play to the southeast. They've got the recon. Unfortunately, it's running through a field near nowhere. We've got some Peters, not sure what you're doing. Maybe going for the RD, but it's too far away.
Brutal. There's a bombing run coming in from, I'm assuming, the Axis bombing run coming in now. It's taking out almost exactly nothing. The garrison still stands. Most of the lads were sitting in the house, and that big house that you guys will be aware of on checkpoint, just to the right of your screen now, that is well garrisoned by the lads.
But Stu, there's one thing I'd like to show you, and that's a passive non-aggressor. This is their recon team. It's just having a look in the field. That's not even the map. The map starts over here.
Just off doing some bird watching.
He's doing some bird watching. Unfortunately, if his commander could drop him supplies and he talked to them, they might get it. But what that map shows me is there's something way more interesting happening here. They are pushing in, and they are pushing in close.
Are you telling me, Beast, that communication is key in this game?
It does help.
Yeah, I've heard it does.
It does help.
This is a staunch Allied defense at the moment. I think they're going to hold on to it for now. The Axis don't seem to have too much. They are still trying to push towards the bottom of your screen at the moment. They're trying to sustain that, but it looks like the Allies, I said that once again, the Allies are starting to re-dominate, re-establish sector control towards the right of your screen. At least they're trying to. There is still a bit of a murder ball. It is hard to push him through that.
Up, we need to take him down a bit. One thing he should be doing more is dropping supplies in corners. There's corners of the map. You can drop it. Sometimes they don't look
Yeah.
And you can use that for future use. A lot of the time, they do catch it, but when they don't, that's the Gary that wins the game. That's the push, and you can turn the Birdwatcher into the MVP of the map. Just
Yeah, 100%. Switching over to my screen, we're still looking at that. That's the top of your screen at the moment. You can see the Allied 76. That's our lads, Red Cordial Nicholas, and fuck, I've really got to remember who the last one was because he was a good lad as well.
But will the engineer get close? He is sneaking, but I think he's sneaking into the main gun of the 76.
Yeah, there we go. Just as we started talking about Breaky Deaky dying to that. Turns out sneaking up towards the front of a tank, not the best place.
Especially when there's a driver that can see out.
Yeah, and they've got the commander in there, so they've got all the eyes in the world. What we're looking at the moment, this is the 76 we were talking about. Aerotrix, sorry, I probably should have remembered that name, given he's one of ours. Looking out towards the left now, they're just providing all the fire. You know they've got HE loaded. You know they're just fucking shelling the shit out of that area.
Yeah, and that arty's going to really start making it difficult because you got to push down streams. There's not much cover. With a tank and arty, it's not going to go too well.
No,
it's try. You might succeed.
Coming from that side, there's only a couple of sort of areas of cover you can push down. The Allies will be well aware of exactly where there's another kill for Red Cordial in the gunner seat.
And we can see the gunners, he's already on 1,000 combat effectiveness, so he's killed a lot of people.
That's offensive. I love it. They're going to need some armor to deal with this. They're not going to be able to, the Axis aren't going to be able to get any infantry out to help deal with this 76. They're going to need some armor support, and they just don't have it.
In fact, I think they've realised that, and they've adjusted. So there's two half tracks at main.
Yep.
They've realised they're not playing the armor, so they're going to try and get some spawns.
Good.
The only question is, they have to be sneaky, they have to go wide, and they're driving straight at them.
I've got Beefy Sausage in the, Beefy Sausage, that's the name, in the middle of your stream at the moment. He's just trying to push up this left flank, see if he can't get on side, and just as I fucking mentioned, every time we talk about something, Beefy going down, looks like Ringo took him out then, to his right, and that will be the Axis squad lead, Ringo, taking out Beefy Sausage. Habibi Thief is also in this little complex here, there you go, just taking out Sidrolica. I don't know whether he's aware of where everybody else is, but he's just trying to get on the side of this Axis assault at the moment. SSV 1027, the other side of the wall, Habibi Thief will be able to hear him. He'll know that there's players around him. SSV 1207 taking out the rocket. I don't know whether he's trying to take out the armor. There you go. I've just realized he's got on the side of that armor. That is the 76 with McNicholas taking a bunch of rockets. That rocket just missing, falling, I reckon, about half a meter too short then. Oz Jaeger with the rocket as well.
I think we just realised why our recon were bird watching, and that's simply because they can't kill the arty right now. The game physically won't let them until they get this point. So that arty's going to keep shelling and shelling, and the recon really needs to start getting spawns.
See, I don't know about you. I know they were trying to move up there. Yeah, I know they were trying to move up, trying to make a game of it, but I don't think the 76 needed to then.
Shawnee, the solo Shawnee did it.
Shawnee C?
Shawnee C in the Panzer IV, I think, although his gun's not looking in the right way, so maybe.
He's a good lad.
Either way, that tank was weak. It took a lot of rockets.
Yeah, it was. I don't think they needed to move up. I think they were in a great position there. All they needed to do was hold off. They were holding off the entirety of that side.
I wonder if they went for the spawns.
Yeah, look, that's potential.
If it's one spawn coming off a thing, and that tank's been dominating, they know they can afford to lose it. I can pretty much guarantee you a new one's about to spawn a main, and they'll drive straight back in.
How's sector control for the Allies, for the Axis forces looking? It does look like they've got a recon squad in behind. Wookiee AU, geez, doing some work there. Good. They don't look to have any really close pushes at the moment. It just looks like they're trying to establish dominance around the entirety of this point.
But there is cracks showing that
there are cracks showing,
yeah. Really close on that defense, and even though a head-on push doesn't always work, if the enemy's not in the cap, it does. Now they are there, they are fighting for it, but you know,
a lot of allies dying, but they do have that garrison. It's just in the center of your screen behind that house at the moment. They are getting some very good value out of that one.
One thing I would keep in mind is that bombing run is probably coming up pretty soon.
It probably is too,
and I'm pretty sure Lucian probably has that airhead. I think he's just waiting for an opportune moment where he can use it and it will actually stay alive because he knows he's against a good team. He knows they're probably going to catch him.
That's a very good point. If this were you commanding this, given that you can see everything, where would you be putting the airhead?
Watson. I'd be putting it on Watson, who just died, if I could talk to him, because even though it's only 2 guys, if there's only 3 people running towards an airhead, that can be enough. Bombing run can clear a good chunk of it, and if nothing else, even if it fails, it'll pull them off the cap. And, it's supplies.
You win some, you lose some, don't you? Kermit Van Helmet is sitting in behind now. He is a solo. I lie. Winston's just spawned in behind him. They've got Sullivan, Drew Blood, Beefy Sausage, and Habibi Thief with Little Cow, Templar's Bones in support. Elvin is actually spawned in as well. So there you go. Kermit just going down now. It looks like the allies are aware.
Up.
Yeah.
That's why they've got that northern. They've got a northern Gary up. It's off the point. It's far enough away that it's hard to proxy. And here comes the spawn waves. Now they've got 2 angles and the 2 opposite angles. And that makes a big difference.
Yeah, that absolutely.
There's no cover that works at 2 opposite angles. Well, there's very few.
Isn't it funny? As soon as that 76 went down, we're starting to see off towards the left of your screen is where that 76 was. They were holding that down for days, and now that it's gone, they've sort of started to collapse along that southern side.
The Panzer Force coming in, which is of course the Shawnee C. Even though he's solo, even though there is an anti-tank there which might catch him, if he can get it there and if he can keep it alive, he can lock down that road. Question is,
he can. I'm going to switch over to you and have a look at Shawnee C for a little bit, moving in with that Panther 4.
Problem Shawnee face is greenish. If he's paying attention, he can kill Shawnee very easily.
Yeah. Can't believe nobody's joining a tank squad with him. Why?
But he's running away. I don't know. I think it's just one of those games. Some games are easy games, some games are hard games. Yeah. And I think it is a hard game. And he's driving straight past the Gary. Unfortunately, hindsight is 2020, and tanks are loud.
Yeah. He can't hear it. Good lord! Turn around, Sean.
He's the driver. All he hears is a loud tank.
Turn around! Good lord, son! There's a garrison. Oh, fucking. Turning the gun. I think he's just turning on to point to have a look at what's happening over there.
I think he definitely is, and these things are hard.
Oh,
tanks are loud.
It's really
You're not
fucking.
Find it. And he's mad. I'd assume the 76 coming back out.
And it's really easy for us to see as well.
Of course, the 76. I told you they'd be back, and here they are.
Didn't take him long. Didn't take him long.
Take him long.
We're on your camera at the moment. I'm going to give you 2 minutes. 2 minutes to just give us a quick rundown of what's happening over the point, and I will be back, my guy.
All right. Well, simply put, they've got the spawns up, and they've shoved not 1 but 2 half tracks in their face. They've lost the back Gary, but half tracks with the long spawn. If you've got 2 of them, and they're not next to each other in the timing, it'll work. I think you're going to see a lot of people push into this cap really quickly. And we'll find out. And there goes the Gary. What a time to take a piss. This may very well be the end of the cap.
Oh, did I just miss us almost trying to cap?
No, they're going to cap. They're succeeding. They pulled a bombing run in, hit half the team, and they have no spawns.
The allies, did they lose that Gary to the bombing run?
Absolutely, and it hit about everyone. I'm very confident they're going to lose this point now.
Jesus. That was Lucian's bombing run. I'll tell you what, I'm going to point something out. The Allies forces, they've got no commander now.
If there's one thing, yes, when you look at people, they do die, but when you go to pee, things also happen. So if you need to pee more often, just let us know.
So what you're saying, if I need something to happen in the match, if I need stuff to advance a little bit, all I got to do is go and empty the bladder. Good.
Apparently. Now, unfortunately for them, they can't swing momentum because they haven't prepped for it, because of course, it's a hard fight, it's a hard cap.
Yeah.
You're not going to prep ahead when you're only just getting caps. Well, not just getting caps, but it's a hard fight.
Yeah.
One thing that's significant about that cap is now they can harass artillery. As in, not the cap artillery, the actual artillery.
Oh, of course they can. Yeah, that's going to be huge. Hopefully that swings it.
Given they're pushing from the bottom, it's a very high chance a lot of them are going to run.
Yep.
And that's going to give them the opportunity to get a lot of flanking Garys straight out. And as we can see, there's an airhead already coming up the top right-hand corner.
Well, there is too.
I don't know if I've seen it.
I've just swung over to my camera. I've done the run from checkpoint to artillery
But there's
battery.
one problem. There's not enough people respawning. There is still a lot of people on that map that are running.
Redeploy, lads. Listen to your commander, for God's sake.
Of course, it hasn't finished yet, so they don't know that it's going to work. They probably do now.
Yeah, they'll see that.
That's one without a bombing run as well. So that's a sneak play, and it's going to work. So, on the condition that people spawn on it. What he can do now to help himself is drop some supplies. Obviously, he wasn't expecting it to work. You don't always expect these things. But he could set himself up. It's far enough from the cap that you can put a really good Gary there.
There you go. That was a big spawn wave. That's a lot of lads. That'll help them push out. There are a couple of squad leads in there, so you'd expect them to start getting their OPs out. You'd expect them to start pushing up. Yeah.
So they need one more support box, which they don't have, but they could get. And then they can really start being in the money.
They can start putting pressure in.
And the other thing is, they're not looking. So the best thing they can do right now, which I doubt they're going to do, but the best thing they could do right now is not shoot.
Yeah, 100%.
They're not looking.
Gain as much ground as you
close
can.
As you can.
Yeah, gain as much ground as you can before you start engaging. So
I think Rule's about to discover the unfortunate fate. With his grease gun, there's not enough bullets in that gun to kill all of them.
There you go. Rule is in the center of your screen at the moment. That is the blueberry you can see.
He's
getting some shots out there. He's taking down a mid-Hazar. There you go.
And he's met an MG.
Yeah, I think that was Jaws with the MG, who's just gone down. As soon as I mention him, as of course is tradition, anybody that I mention will die immediately going down.
But there's one thing they've done really well now is they've got 2 MGs set up on artillery. That can really lock down this push really quickly.
Let's if I can get you to zoom in and have a look at them. Zoom in and have a look at those MGs. Let's have a look at their fields of fire.
So unfortunately, they were over here and over here. And then they decided best things come in twos. So they're giving each other a nice happy hug.
Aww.
And I could ask the same question. Why? Obviously their sight lines suck because the chances of them running through the field is high, but less likely. The chances of them running down a smoke road, a lot higher.
Yeah.
So what one of them need to do is reposition, which I think Y is doing, and just spray. You can't see, you don't need to see. You have so many bullets, that gun shoots slowly. It can do a lot of damage.
Just start shooting into the... There he goes. Just starting to shoot into the smoke now. All he's got to do is...
You'll know if you're shooting in the right direction because you'll hear dinks.
Yep. That is a good point. Find me a more satisfying noise in all of video games. Find me a more satisfying noise than the headshot noise in Hell Let Loose. It is delicious.
But I don't think he can see them. They're there, but I don't think he can see them.
Just keep it set up, my guy.
Unfortunately, I think Y, like many of us, myself included, struggles from ADHD. You can't sit still. It's a hard kit to play when you can't sit still, and I think he's going to move again.
Well, he's got Mauser in front of him, probably. Don't stand in front of the machine gun. Just start spraying in that direction. Why? You've got this, buddy. I believe in you.
But they've done themselves the service. They've got the Gary up, and they've put it on the other flank. They're really starting to get a rhythm going now. They've got a good push from the north, and not only that, they've got space on the south. And I think Y just shot his friend. Maybe I wasn't paying that much attention, but I think he did.
Just going to switch over. We're going to have a look at the entirety of this. Artillery battery is what we're fighting over. Obviously dominated by that big house towards the left of what you see. And there is an extensive trench network that always provides a good fight around artillery battery. I'll tell you what, Beast. The Allies still don't have a commander again. I don't know how well that's going to work out for them.
They've got enough players. I think it's just no one wants to step up. It's a commitment.
It is.
And people don't want to do it.
Look,
one thing I would say is the best thing the Allies can do right now is where H squad is, drop a Gary. That'll give them all 3 attack angles. There's a really nice trench you can run up, and then they'll really be in the money. Are they going to do it? We'll find out.
Blue Rose Jelly's telling us that communication is for noobs, apparently. There you go.
That's why, look, I wouldn't take that advice from a medic. That's all I'm saying.
I've played in Blue Rose's squad quite a few times now. She's one hell of a squad leader up and coming in the OC ranks, and I'm looking forward to what we see from her in the future. Well, I know she doesn't believe that communication's for noobs, but you know what? Thank you very much, Blue. I did see something exploding up the top left of our screen at the moment.
I think that was a half track.
That was a half track. It was a half track. It was
but they have another. Like, Lucian has done the right thing, which is he's realised his tanks aren't doing anything. They aren't even playing it. So he is putting all of the half tracks out, and half tracks are good. They're really good.
They're delicious.
They're expensive, but they're good. And I think there is one right behind a heavy tank. Yes, there is. If you could flick to my screen really quick, we can see the stealthy half track in its natural thing, flanking the 76.
Is that
Unfortunately, he might have thought it's a race, and that might not be a race he wants to win. As the 76 turns around, why?
He's got nothing. He's hit a tree. That's probably not going to help him.
I don't think the driver's seen it.
What?
The How is that 76 not Marine has done it again. Unfortunately, the driver ports are small. But he might hear him soon. And
who's in that half track? And is he aware of that?
That is Crashed Marine. But the problem is with having balls this big, if the squad leader sees you, it takes one press of a W key, or an A and a D key, and you're dead.
Yeah.
And as we can see, the tank's turning, the tank's got the call out, and that half track is going to meet a very sad end. Communication is
Marine's jumped out. Look, it's a spawn point's open now, but looks like that 76 has got him.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he's been spotted, and because they're communicating, that was unfortunately never going to work.
Look, well done, Crashy going down to the tank as well.
But it was a good attempt, and it worked last time, so
Crashy's another good OC egg.
Crashy certainly knows what he's doing. He was willing to take the risk, and it just didn't pay off this time.
Tell you what, Danger Klaus not willing to step up into the command role.
The recon tank is having a go at the heavier tank. It does have a butt shot, but now it's ricocheting, and I think it's not long for this world. As you can see, the recon tank is very far away, and he doesn't. I'm
just going to switch over to my screen at the moment for you. On the point, we have the Axis forces. It's Tattoo and Gag Reflex Barbie. Gag Reflex Barbie's the engineer. I don't know whether has he got a satchel down on it?
He's not. Nope, he does not. He does not have the right kit. If you look at his gun.
Oh, he does. Yeah.
Unfortunately, the wrong gun. He doesn't have a satchel on him.
Ig Nicholas, Red Cordial, and Aerotrix. I've got to say that right eventually. I don't know. They've got to be aware that they've got lads in behind. Tattoo going down.
And unfortunately, there goes the OP, and with that attack.
It was a good. They had a good crack at it.
It was a really good crack. It was very close. They could have made things happen, but unfortunately, it wasn't to be. Just like that recon tank wasn't to be.
I could hear it exploding off to my left somewhere. There is a bit of a murder ball. Looks like most of the Axis forces have flopped, so they're now coming from the west-hand side, which is all the red berries you can see up the top of the screen at the moment. You'd expect them to be trying to push hard and fast into the point and trying to gain some ground before the Allies are able to respond to this, who still don't have a commander. Let's see how that works out for them.
The good news is they haven't found that northern Gary yet. They are locking it out. They are looking. But if they give up, they might just leave it.
Yeah.
Is that likely to happen? Probably not.
We'll see how we go. Dodge, fucking pleasure to have you in the stream again. You've gone back to Mr. Crowley Audio. There you go. Always a pleasure to have you around, my guy. Fucking love hanging out with you. How are ya? What's going on? This is 15 minutes in the future, but hey, you win some, you lose some.
Ooh. And something we rarely see. I'm not even sure how he did that. I'm sure Tattoo can tell me. But we have an MG on the roof. And that is a very good side angle.
I didn't know you could get up there.
I don't know. I think he probably jumped out the right window the right way. I don't know how. But he is going to do very well so long as no one sees him. Because he can see all of that attack. The bushes from this distance won't really do too much. He can see ahead. And as Ozzy's about to find out, it's a good spot.
Jesus.
And of course, No Bitches has seen enough movies to see that if you just spray, sometimes people get unlucky.
I love a good spray and pray.
Like Rooster.
Bombing run coming in. It's going to... The bombing run hasn't taken out that garrison.
But it did take out the gunner on the roof.
Did it now?
It did.
Oh, I thought it was going to miss him. There you go.
And you can see another 2 gunners trying to get up there.
Oh, no. New meta, machine guns on the roof at artillery battery. There you go. You've seen it first on TraumaStoo stream.
Unfortunately, I don't think anyone's told No Bitches that bipod actually does work kind of well.
Yeah, I know.
He is spraying for days.
The old sniper machine gun's great.
He's not afraid.
I love a good hip fight. It brings out the Rambo in me. A hip fight machine gun, for me, it feels good.
It feels good. Doesn't work so much. But
No, you're right. This is a bit of a slow push. I'm just going to flip over to my screen now, so you can see what we're seeing. Artillery battery is still that point, just to the left of your screen at the moment. The main Axis push are the red berries. They're pushing into the right-hand side of your screen. They're just trying to take this field. Once they've got that field, they've got some nice little bits of cover that'll overlook the point, and they'll have a much easier time pushing in. But at the moment, they're just sort of struggling a little bit. No Bitches and Jackson, backed up by Templar's Bones, are the only sort of allied defense pushing them off at the moment. Vincent and Gonzo going down. Yep. Go ahead.
And with that, you've cleared the backside now of the cap, so there's a good amount of players running back into support. There's nothing north, there's nothing east, there's nothing south. It's all west, and there's a lot of MGs, and there's a lot of open field.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Is now that the Allies are able to, and they'll be aware of that, having a look at where all their lads are, they'll be aware that they're able to focus the bulk of their defense, pushing out towards that sort of southwest side that we're looking at the moment, and that big murder ball. It is a nice spread out attack, but yeah, it's a lot of open field there. A few guys can hold off that entire attack.
And our MG is back on the roof. How we got up there, I have no idea.
Damn it! That's it. I'm tempted to let somebody know exactly where he is so he can get murdered, so I can watch him get up there again.
Oh, but he has the coziest of camping spots. Like,
oh, it's delicious.
Between the poles, he's having a good time.
There are a couple of MGs back here now. Hopefully one of them's trying to get up on the roof. I just want to see how this works.
Unfortunately for Lucian, he is prepping and he's trying to get his Garys out, but there are players in the field to catch him. I think now's the time where they're going to start struggling. Their sneak plays are kind of going to start whittling away because they're going to be looking.
Yeah, we're seeing a nice, good spread out defense from the Allies now, which is good. As I said, still don't have a commander. I'm assuming they're NCOs. They're Hola from the future. Eureka, welcome back to the stream, my guy. It's always a pleasure. Really enjoyed hanging out with your stream yesterday. If you haven't seen him already, check out Rekka201. Really, really good lad. One hell of a beard as well.
There is one good thing Lucian has going for him. He's got a lot of fuel. He's got 1,280. He can spawn half tracks for days, and he is. And Alvin's coming in clutch. He's also getting the supply truck. They're trying to get those spawns. He's got good squad leaders behind him, and they're trying to prep.
There is just under 16 minutes left for the Axis forces to cap. Look, they are starting to push out, and they are starting to gain some grounds in places. Look, this could still go either way for mine.
I think the sneak half track is what's probably going to win them the game. Because
like last time,
there's no one at their main because their arty's down. Their tanks are alive, so they're probably not going to drive into one. I understood they died to that last time, so they might not want to do it so much. Fair enough. But they can.
I'm just looking at, there's a 76 in the middle. That is our friends again. Ignicholas, Aerotrix, and Red Cordial. I tell you what, that is a terrifying tank crew, that is. They're just sort of sitting on the main road. Yep.
He's sitting behind a tank trap, which means his gun can see over. But rockets might hit it when they try and shoot it, and it's a really hard shot.
Absolutely it is. And they just get to load HE and start pummeling this Axis advance that's happening in front of them. I'll tell you what, there are a lot of them though. That is a big Axis push coming from that side. They just haven't made as much ground as you'd like to see.
And unfortunately, Lucian's about to run into their good defense. They have people out everywhere. He's got his half-track, he's put it in a good spot. But there's people here.
And that's that second
luckily
control
for him,
love to
it's
see.
a rogue recon. It's a sniper, of course, doing what snipers do. Not a whole lot. I think he's in the clear. But greed may be his downfall, unfortunately. You got to play aggressive, and unfortunately for him, aggressive might meet some enemies.
Yeah. Well, so they'll be aware that it's there. It's whether or it's what he can do with this that's going to be truly important.
Admittedly, I was praying for him with that trench. I've got so many half-tracks stuck in them.
I know.
We're going to see it again.
Oh, I know. You feel like a dance every time you do it as well.
And Lucian's showing us he knows the map well. He's driving outside the sector. He knows he's got 30 seconds.
Oh, I thought he almost
thought
got
he
stuck.
bogged it there.
Oh no, you and me both, brother.
He's only got 10 seconds. He's probably only got 10 seconds left to get in. He might die. I don't think he will, but
he's gonna make it.
He would have been clenched.
Yeah, still alive, and he's back within bounds. I'll flip over my screen.
But is that a 76? It is. Unfortunately, he might meet the same fate again.
Oh, I'm going to flick back to you. Let's have a look at that 76 and see whether it's going to be able to hunt down this this half track.
I don't think Lucian's flank's going to work too well somehow.
God.
And a monitor went flying.
Dude, it's once again, it's that tank of Ignicholas, Red Cordial, and Aerotrix. They've done some fucking work. They haven't taken out Lucian yet.
And it's not so much that they're seeing everything, it's that they're listening. Yeah. They're hearing their teams making the call-outs, and they're responding to it quickly.
There you go. Lucian going down to that 76. And that's exactly what happened last time. Exactly what happened. Just after it they got out of the half-track and turned on the spawn, maybe a couple of seconds after, it's gone down to the 76, and the squad lead and/or that time the commander has been brutally murdered.
And the problem Lucian's going to run into now is frustration.
Oh, I know.
He's tried the north, he's tried the south, he's tried the west, and he's trying the east.
Look, it's one of those games where you're beating your head against the wall, isn't it? I'm switching back over. You can see that the Axis forces are still trying to push out from there. It looks like, just because of those fields, it looks like they're starting to lose ground now. Up on that west-southwest side that they've been pushing from. They're well spread out. They just don't seem to be able to gain a foothold. I'll tell you what.
Lucian's team does have going for him, though, is he has 2 squads in supply trucks, and they know what they're doing. They're prepping the spawns. Good. Maybe not all of them will meet the 76. We'll find out.
That is my shoe-in for man of the match at the moment. I don't think I can go past. This could all change. Everything can change, but I don't think you can push past Red Cordial, Ignicholas, and Aerotrix. I don't think you can. I think they've just done too good a job in that 76.
I'm going to say you can, just because I wonder if their head will get too big. In fact, it might start hurting.
Sully Vance just chucked us a follow. Fucking pleasure to have you, my guy. Absolute pleasure to have you. Welcome, welcome. I hope you're enjoying yourself. This is me and a little bit of NvSBeast streaming a pub match. This is Big D, server number 2. We're always getting a good quality of match out of it. There you go. Ripper's just jumped into the Allied command there. He's put a bombing run down. I don't know how effective it's going to be. Did that take down one of those garrisons? Missed it, Gary.
He's hit a lot of people, but Lucian hasn't chucked it on the front line, as you might predict. Yep. Like, it's on the front line, but it's not right up against it. So he's predicted, and he's predicted wrong.
What
he's hit a lot of people. He's done the damage, but they'll be back.
Having a look at the center of your screen at the moment, we're looking at just above where it says Majima Construct. That's where the Allied Gary is. That's where the Allied Gary is on, what point are we? Artillery battery. I'll tell you what. You know how I was talking about how that Axis push from the southwest and west hadn't managed to take that next bit of cover yet? It looks like they've made it up there. So unless the Allies put a bit of work into pushing them back off there, this could be huge for the Axis forces.
But I'd tell you to do what they should do, which is look behind them. There's Axis sneaking in. They've got 2 Garys prepped on the back. They're going for a third. Yes, there's AT looking. Yes, it might find it. If they can get a couple spawns, that might hurt.
Yeah, it is.
And of course, Alvin clutching, of course.
Oh, absolutely. That guy's fucking crushed it every time, hasn't he? We were looking at our screen at the moment. Sort of around the middle is where the bulk of the Axis spawns are. We're looking at those blueberries, including Sherkle, friend of the stream Sherkle, and a damn good OC player. Starting to push in. Looks like they're starting to deal with this Axis push
Here's the
here.
airhead.
Ooh, we have an airhead. If you're looking at it, I'm going to switch over to you.
It's very bold. I think that's a bit of frustration, and this one's going to be heavily reliant on the bombing run. If you look at the map, it's on their face.
Oh, it is.
Hopefully he's timed it right. We'll find out.
That's ballsy from... That's a Loitian...
but it might work.
A Loitian
Simply
airhead,
because
right?
they are all around the cap, but not on the cap. And the ones that run for it, because as you do, you would run to defend an airhead, but they have run in front of it and not to the side. You have to run to the side, or else, like every commander, we'll clear it.
Bombing run goes through. Hates that Templar bones.
He's just timed it right that he didn't kill his own.
Slyer has managed to avoid the bombing run. He'll be aware of that airhead. Slyer, Lil Cowdoy, and Hesh Raw able to take out that. They're not going to get a spawn point off on that.
Those trenches, they provide all of the cover in the world.
Oh, they do, don't they?
They've done it again.
Loitian, unlucky with that airhead, my guy.
And of course, the 76 was here just in case, ready to clean up. That's the stuff of nightmares.
There you go. 8 minutes left on this one. 8 minutes left for the Axis to take this. At this stage, I can't see them doing it.
Yeah, look, a lot of they've done the right thing. I think they're just against a better team. They're trying.
There is Freaky Deaky, Ravensclaw, and New Zealand AVS fan have started to push into point. Ripper, the commander, Yitavuf, oh God, say that really quickly. Majima Construct and Little Cowboy will provide the bulk of the defense on the hard point at the moment.
I don't think it's enough. I don't think they're going to win it because they've got a full squad or two going for their Gary.
Yeah, absolutely.
Without that Gary,
can you tell me, has AVS fan managed to put a nice little close Gary down, OP down?
No,
to provide some sustain?
As their East Gary goes red and everyone pushes out, their North Gary's gone green.
There you go.
And they've got a big spawn wave off it too.
Oh, they have too. Look at that.
Right next to the corpse of the old half track. They're back and they're in business.
But I think the big point with this is, especially within sort of the 7 minute, we're approaching sort of the 5 minute mark. You'd expect the Allied forces to start condensing on the point and start locking down that hard point. The closer in, obviously, you like to have sector control. You like to push out during the middle of a game to try and make sure you cut off all those lines of attack and you're able to take down garrisons. You're able to mean that they don't have an easy assault. As they push back, towards the end of the match, they'll start push back, and it does make it a little bit easier to change areas where you're defending.
I think this cap will come down to one thing and one thing only.
What's that?
Does that force over here come back? If they go east, they lose.
Yep,
if they come back, they win. But there's a lot of people here, and they might be able to push them off the cap. And with that, they can lose very quickly. Now, the defenders are doing well. But I don't think they've given it the priority it needs.
Flipping back over to mine, this is what we're talking about. The blueberries in the middle, they are the Allied forces, commanded by Ripper currently. It looks like a bunch of them have just spawned back to try and defend this strong point. The red berries to the right, AVS fan has just spawned, so they must have an OP in there if I'm not mistaken.
And the red has pulled numbers back. You can see a lot more people coming back.
AVS fan going down just as we talk about him. Fatal Claw and a Camel Toe Ringo taking down that OP. So that's going to be the end of that Axis Assault from that area just there. Lots of blueberries pulling back on the point. 5 minutes and 10 seconds left. I think this is going to be an Allied defense.
I'm not sure. I think they're that close. One satchel can change the game.
Oh, look, it can. One satchel on that house could absolutely change
I don't
everything.
think so, but I'd like to see.
This has been a good game. I've been a little bit impressed. After the last couple, one of them was a stomp. One of them wasn't too bad, but this has been a very good game.
Well, I've certainly been greedy. I've signed up for 1 and squeezed out 3. So, loving it.
Yeah, dude, I feel you. I don't know, it's been good though. I like it when they go for a little bit longer. It means I get to hang around and talk shit with my viewers for a little bit. 4 minutes and 20 seconds. The biggest assault we've got is led by one of our lads, Tattoo, friend of the stream, Tattoo, pushing in towards the top. But it is Tattoo and Itchy are the last two left. They're going to have to do some work to take out Ripper, Monkey, and Sun, which are providing the bulk of the descent. Itchy going down. Tattoo, I don't know whether he knows it, but he's there on his own now. Tattoo, whoa, Jesus, they're right next to each other. How do they not know they're there?
Racing his Bushwookie, the power of the Bushwookie. I'm telling you, look at him.
Tattoo is just
the grass.
He's crawling away. Look at that. How has Monkey not noticed him there?
He knows he's silent when he does it. Crawling, you do not make noise. It's dark. And he's the Bushwookie Supreme. And Lug's about to find out.
Tattoo taking down Lug. Sun's still there. Tattoo won't know it. There you go. Oh. Sun taking down Tattoo. It was going to happen. It was only a matter of time. But I'll tell you what. That was impressive from the lad.
It very much was. I think what happens next will be the very important thing. Does the commander put down the reinforce? And does he airhead? They have brought up the bold... Ooh, 2-man Tiger this time.
No
Maybe
way.
They're going with the
2-man Tiger.
They're going with the 2-man Tiger. There's a big push here. I think what it really depends on, do the defenders chuck the reinforce down now at the 2-minute mark?
Look,
and do they airhead? You should.
Yep. So there is no reinforce down at the moment. There is no reinforce down at the moment. No.
I think the 2-minute mark's a sweet spot. I might be wrong.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Obviously, the quicker time to cap on offensive means you do have to condense it a little more than you would.
I think the Allies are about to do it to themselves again.
No way.
But is the cordial coming in for the play? There is the heavy tank. I can hear it. I can't see it.
Yeah, we're looking in the middle of my screen at the moment. Middle of my screen at the moment is a Tiger.
And it is copping back by a 76.
Yep.
There's a 76 behind it in the ditch. That might kill him.
Second shot, there it is. That Tiger going down as soon as I get there. That Red Cordial's jumped out to try and rip. Red Cordial going down.
And he got there, of course.
So it is Justic Nicholas and Aerotrix looking after this 76.
But there is a rocket on his back, and he is injured.
He is.
Might not be enough, though. They've locked out the Gary to the north. In fact, I think this might be the end for them. There's not a single garrison in the red. And there's not one in this 2 sector of blue. I think they're out of spawns and they're out of time.
Yeah, I don't think there's much they can do from here. Let's have a look. Has he put down... still no reinforce. He's gone. Fuck you. I don't need no goddamn reinforce. I've got this shit covered. No, they don't. I don't think there's anything.
There is currently 3 spawns within the nearest 1,000 meters of the cap.
Yeah. Demon Werewolf, welcome to the stream, my guy. It's been a pleasure. We're just about to finish up this match and go into post-game. I will jump in the chat, and I'm sure Beast will jump in the chat and talk some shit with you fuckers as well for the last 15 minutes of the match whilst we watch awkwardly us talk about shit.
What I would say is, without talking him up too much, Lucian, he's done the right things. Yes, there are other things he could have done earlier to perhaps get him momentum. Yep. But he's done the right things. He's against a good team. It's hard.
So what do you reckon? We picked 2 men of the match, people of the match. I don't know what day and age we live in. I'll tell you what, there's a Luke's moving into point at the moment. I don't know how effective that's going to be. But in terms of men of the match,
Alvin's got to take it again.
That's Fiercey. Fiercey's in the Luke's trying to recover this one. I don't know whether he's going to be enough.
3 seconds. 3, 2, 1.
Rule putting down the satchel.
And it's ready.
There it is.
But is Rule about to be removed from the server and kill that garrison? Okay, the garrison's dead. But I think the game will end.
15 seconds left to go. There's the Lukes going down. No more Lukes.
Of course, it was just Fierce going in and trying his life.
He loves
that's the game.
I'm just disappointed Fiercey wasn't in a half track, but that is the game. That's an Allied victory. A much better game this time. Let's go to the post-match stream. That is not the post-match stream, or what the one I was looking for is this one. Hey, I don't know what's happening with
Alvin. I need to give my command to Alvin.
I don't know what's happening with your I don't know what's happening with your webcam, but I do have the top of your face at the moment. We'll go with that. What I might do.
My mouse not even moving.
It's not. It's frozen in time. We'll go to this one. We'll do a bit of post-match. NvSBeast. That was good. That last match was very good. I loved it.
It was good. It was certainly a much better game than the last few. I think it's just been a case of momentum winning these games, and this one, it was a brick wall.
Yeah, look, it absolutely was, wasn't it?
And you
man
can
of the
see
match.
I think you can see it in the levels. There's some really high level players in the leads. They know what they're doing. Man of the match, Alvin.
They had Tattoo and Fierce on their side though. It just wasn't enough.
Yeah.
So man of the match for the Ally side, obviously the losers. I'll do that one. My men of the match is going to be Ignicholas, Aerotrix, and Red Cordial. You can't go past them.
Look at that combat score. They've nearly ticked 2,000. That's a game and a half.
Yeah.
I think you'll struggle to see scores go that high.
They went ballistic. What about Loishin for man of the match for the Axis forces?
He was certainly critical. Like, you can look at his score. He's got more support score than anyone else by a mile.
Yeah. So there you go. There your man of the match is going to be Ignicholas, Aerotrix, and Red Cordial from the Ally side. Loishin, as much as I hate giving it purely to OC people, turns out we're good. As much as I hate doing that, we're going to give man of the match to Loishin, the commander for the Axis forces that lost. You know what? You win some, you lose some. That time you lost. NvSBeast, it's been an absolute pleasure. We can't see you at the moment because your webcam's a little bit on the dead side. It's been a pleasure, my guy. Did you have fun?
Of course. I got 3 for the price of 1.
No, that was 3 matches. That's probably the longest pub match stream I've ever done. Have fun uploading that one to YouTube. Dude, that was good. That last game was great. We saw a stomp. We saw a much better match in this last one. 3-2 is always a good result for an offensive map. Dude, that was great. Do you have anything you need to plug? Do you have any streams or YouTubes or anything you need to plug, or are we good?
I think we're good.
Magnificent. I'm hoping I'll get
around.
Yeah, 100%. If you play with this NvSBeast, always playing on the Big D servers. He's a good lad. Squad up with him if you can. It's always a fucking pleasure playing with him. From here, I'm going to start wrapping things up. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure. You can always catch me. If you're watching this later on YouTube, you can catch me on twitch.tv/TraumaStoo. You can see that down below. I'm going to jump off and jump into my stream and talk shit with some of you fuckers that are hanging around the stream at the moment for the last 15 minutes. But, ladies and gentlemen, look after yourselves. If you can manage to do that, see if you can't look after somebody else too. Love every single one of you. Thank you for all the new people that joined. Thank you for all the new follows. Thank you to all of my subscribers. Thank you for the people that are lurking. Lurkers make the stream go around. But we'll try and do this once a week. Hopefully we get some new guests. Hopefully we get to NvSBeast come back and play with us at some stage. It's been a pleasure. Take care of yourselves. Bye.